All right, hello, 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 and welcome to session number 57 of Unlikely Heroes, our Sunday night, our weekly Sunday night Dungeons and Dragons game in the in the uh, in the fifth edition. We're going to be diving into this real shortly, but just as a reminder, when I stream this specific D&D game, I do not pay a whole lot of attention to chat. I may pop in once in a while to just say hello, but it's very, very far and few between because these guys not only require my attention, but deserve it as well. So, really quick before we start, Seru, hello officially, how are you? I'm sorry we didn't pop in your stream last night, dude. Literally, by the time you went live, we were already turning the lights off and getting ready for bed. I was like, maybe I could stay up a little bit later, and I was like, nah, I already know what tomorrow's gonna bring, so we just passed out. But, let's see here. Did you remember to remind yourself about the TikTok I posted in the videos channel? Definitely not, but I have a note card here that I will take that note on. And I will take a look at it as soon as we are done tonight. Also, Marf, hello, how are you? I see that you streamed last night and you partied so hard that you threw up. That's pretty fucked up. I can honestly say I haven't thrown up from alcohol, God, in well over a decade. But I drink very moderately, and on those nights that I actually, that's not true. I remember one night, this is probably a year or so ago, I drank a little bit too much, and I want to say that I smoked on top of it, and as soon as I sat down, I was like, I can't do this, and I was just like, okay guys, I gotta go, bye, stream's over. It was fucking terrible. Anyways, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And yeah, we have a lot in store for tonight. So we're going to start with a quick session recap, go into some experience things, and then indeed I did when the Marfman drinks. He drinks with intent. Fuck yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to pop over. I'll give you that. I'll give you this one too. My players are probably looking at me right now and going, what in the fuck is this guy doing? Seru! Oh god. Okay, quick, before it cuts out. Alright guys, I'm going back over to stream, or I mean over to the group, and yeah, we're just gonna dive right into it. Thanks for being here. Alright. Okay guys, sorry about that. All right, so really quick recap from last session. Do we have Cat tonight?
I just messaged her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm here. I was just making food.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so, really quick recap from last time. So last time was interesting. Not only did you guys manage to complete, and by complete, I mean vanquish all of the ambushing gnolls, but you also, while in the attempt to find Doc and to gather her body and gather her very being and her essence, you gathered up what you thought was her, all of the scraps of her, brought her back to the camp. It was kind of a frantic rush to figure out what in the fuck to do next. You sat down, you started to kind of figure things out. Gray immediately said, fuck that bitch, and started looting everything he could get his grubby little thieving paws on. And he did. And while that was happening, though, Ree, who is holding essentially a bloody sack worth of what had remained of Doc, noticed that it started to vibrate and feel warm, and as she began to open the sack of the remains, purple arcane sparks and smoke began to pour out of the sack, and before she knew it, every last scrap of what was Doc had vanished completely. Looking out towards the water, Aurora realized that not only was everything she was also scooping up, including blood and bits, not only was it vanishing, but it was vanishing in that same similar arcane, sparkly smoke mixture. Obviously, Ree and Aurora were dumbfounded and fucking mortified by this happening, and that is when Aurora went into survival mode and began very frantically searching the area. And it wasn't until she got to about right here on our little map, oh, I'm actually kind of scrolled far, but it was right over here by the bridge, when she noticed a familiar sound and structure underneath the dire fern. And as she began to rummage through the dire fern, out came Doc. Pretty fucked up. Definitely had some arrow wounds and some heavy blood loss, but alive. Doc informed the group that when she finally got back to him that yes, she had indeed been run through with tons of arrows, but she came to briefly to a small familiar dwarven boy above her from Underhill. The boy then gleamed through the shadows of the dire fern as he was actively pushing her back towards the branches, and essentially told her to, and I quote, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's gonna be okay. Don't say anything. Here, drink this." And that was the last thing Doc really remembered, as the sounds of battle raged on around her. Though she could not see anything, she could hear everything that was happening. This obviously also baffled Ree, as when the name Gimbal was brought back into the picture in full circle here, she was very, very confused. And I don't think we've actually really unraveled the entirety of the situation, because there's a lot of missing pieces to this puzzle. So, after that, you guys decided, okay, you know what? We need to rest. We need to get our magic back in gear. Doc performed, if I'm not mistaken, a few healing spells. Aurora performed a few healing spells. The world was good, and that is when everybody decided we're gonna call it for the day. This was too fucking much. After some investigating around the area, you were able to note that there was no more Knoll presence, at least nothing in the immediate vicinity, and that was good enough for you. So you began to bed down for the evening. Ree and Gray decided to go ahead and take their rest, and that is when Doc, or actually I don't remember what the order was. All I remember is that at the very tail end of the evening, Aurora began to get up and walk at least away from the vicinity of the campfire, but not before she gave I almost said very affectionate, but you very particularly said slightly affectionate, so I will stick to the story, even though in my head all week I've pictured it as something so much more. But a slightly affectionate nudge, to which we are picking up. I mean, today's session starts right after that beat happens, and then we're going to start it off on a good note. So, with that being said, going to our XP recap. Hey, the Knoll encounter was finished, so I can finally give you guys XP for that. 535 XP per person for the Knoll fight. And roleplay, another fantastic roleplay session for what we did. Another 300 for that, so 835 XP to everyone. That puts Gray at 30,606. Aurora at 29,594, and the remaining two party members at 32,444. And when we pick up today, it is going to be... Now, we're going to do the beat. If there is roleplay to be had within this beat, we'll do this beat. And then our quote-unquote pickup will be tomorrow morning, which will be the 27th of Mugem at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so hey, we got that. I don't actually have any other notes for the week. Does anybody have any questions for me? That's the best kind of silence there is. All right, go. So let me go ahead and get some. Let me get some tunes going here. All right, so Aurora has just given the slightly affectionate nudge to Doc around the campfire.
Were you getting up and walking after that, Kat? Is that right?
What was that?
Were you getting up, like, were you nudging her and then walking? Or were you
I
just
thought
nudging?
we had been sitting near each other because you had gone and sat practically on top of her.
Oh, that's
So
right. You know what? And I even put your damn models next to each other too. I'm such a chump.
No,
so,
I just wanted to
so
make sure.
that's why it was kind of like a gentle like she glanced over at Ree and um, Gray made sure that they weren't looking, and then just kind of just a little nudge, and that was it.
So, Doc feels the nudge and kind of like looks over with a weird smile on her face and just like nudges you back, but maybe a little harder than you nudged her.
She'll flip her off, of course, and then just pause for a minute and then say, you know, we should let them. They can sleep. We can take first watch.
I don't think we have much of a choice.
I mean, we could always throw stuff at Gray and wake him up.
Oh, we will. So, how much would you say you cried? Like a lot of tears, or like a medium amount of tears, or she's got like a shit-eating grin on her face.
This isn't a nudge. This is a distinctive elbow.
It's a lot then.
I will never admit to such. However, I'm glad you're okay.
I am too. I swear I am actually good at like being a rogue. I just keep getting put into these positions where maybe I need to be a little bit better at being a rogue.
Hey, you trusted the ferns. That's pretty good.
To be fair, I didn't have much of a choice on the Fern.
I mean, it worked out. You're here. You don't have a reason to doubt yourself. They have fucking dog senses. And you've been hanging around Ray. They were going to smell you.
You know what's funny is I feel like I felt real sneaky, and I know I was pretty sneaky because I was able to walk past a couple of them with no problem. There was just one son of a bitch who saw me, and it all went downhill from there.
You know, sometimes you fire the perfect shot. It feels just right as it's leaving the bow, and just that errant gust of wind, that slightly crooked feather, and it just doesn't hit its mark. Doesn't mean you're a bad shot. Doesn't mean you're a bad rogue. Besides, isn't your Garl all about sometimes the luck just isn't with you?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have lucky days, and sometimes you have lucky days, but the luck isn't good.
You made it out. You made in one piece. I think it turned out to be pretty lucky after all.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I've been trying to figure out a lesson, because there's usually a lesson. Reason. I'm thinking maybe next time, well, I think there are a lot of reasons for today, to be honest. Yeah, so I don't know how much you know or heard or anything, but so then an old friend kind of showed up and helped me survive. Now he's gone.
Drew kind of raises an eyebrow.
I'm not sure where he went, but he taught me how to be sneaky, so it's not surprising that I can't find him. At that, I want to look around and see if I can perceive any shadows or anything that might be tiny goblin shaped, or I guess dwarven boy shaped. You want me to roll a perception check?
Ask the question again. Sorry, I was looking something up.
So Doc just mentioned that an old friend helped her survive that. And then she's gonna take a quick look around just to make sure, she knows that he's always around now, so she wants to see if she can spot him.
Okay, go ahead and yeah, make a perception check for me. Wow, nat 20. So yeah, you glance around and yeah, no, you don't see anything. That leads you to believe that that he is around or watching. However, when you glance across the fire and at Gray, Gray doing whatever it is that Gray is currently doing, you can see clear as day that he has this mantle kind of draped around his shoulders that is made purely of shadow.
I'll kind of, like, not straight up point, but, like, motion toward Gray. What's with the shadowy...
Aurora will look.
So
The same.
yeah, so you glance and you look up, like, kind of around and through the fire. You don't see shit. Doc, as you kind of look back around the fire yourself, it's gone.
Never mind.
With the what?
One too many arrows.
If I would have been shot one time less, I would not be having these hallucinations.
Damn, what am I seeing then?
Oh wait, I'm coming back to you. I'm just letting them have their moment.
So, one thing I will say that came out of today is we're all doing dangerous shit. And it's not going to get any less dangerous anytime soon. I'm going to try to kind of be, stick around the group as much as I can. Once in a while, I'm going to have to go off and do my own thing. We have to figure out a way for me to let you guys know I'm okay.
Well, we start with the trying to make sure we know you're coming back. Same as the other way. Beyond that, I think I can do a smaller version of the, like Gray does, with talking across distances. I think I can do a smaller version of that. Haven't quite figured out fully. That might be able to help a little. I don't think it takes the same amount of energy either.
Speaking of which, how are you two feeling?
I don't think we could make so much as a snowflake right now.
You spend a lot of energy trying to save me.
She is completely deadpan when she says yes. Everything we had. And it wasn't enough. So thank your girl that didn't matter, that you're back anyway.
She thinks for a second. So Garl he definitely plays a role, but he puts the right people in place to get that good luck. So thank you, and thank you.
Yeah, I nearly lit Rhea on fire. Didn't know I could do fire.
You what?
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
If we could please,
If we could
just
not do
leave
that.
the failing at killing our goblin to me, I would greatly appreciate.
Remake a perception check.
She's probably like fast asleep right now. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
18.
You kind of like
Snoring real hard.
you like wake up out of of your deep stupor for just a moment because you could swear you could hear like your dream was that you were back home in Poodoo. Mom just called you back from the pumpkin patch. Biscuits are ready, and you're like, ugh, and you swear you hear, and then back out.
Yeah.
I don't think she likes being on fire either. Actually, I know she does, especially magic fire.
I didn't know that we could make magic fire. And I don't think the magic knew that it was going to be fire either. So,
I think your magic works a lot different than my magic.
I think that my magic is closer to your magic, but our magic is very different, and neither of them are the same. If that makes any sense.
She pats you on the head. I get it. Just make sure that you, if this situation ever arises again, make sure that both of you survive.
Don't worry, we'll take to the ferns if we need to. And besides, you'll come and rescue us if things go sideways.
I'm not dead.
Well, apparently death can't keep you down, so.
Yeah, if the right people are around. That's for sure. I'm starting to feel like maybe even Gray is one of the right people.
When he's not using creepy shadow voice.
No,
In the
even
middle of the
then,
night?
I just don't like it as much. His power has to come from somewhere. If his power comes from the creepy shadow voice, then... So, I did have a conversation with him, I wanted to tell you. I asked him if we should be concerned, and he bet his own life on us not needing to be, which, quite honestly, I don't think he values anything more than himself. So, I take that seriously.
Accurate.
And take a moment, nod, and then say, he put his own life on the line in order to save Ree today. He drew those things away from Ree when Ree was wavering.
Interesting.
Admittedly, I also don't think that he thought that they were going to be able to actually reach him, but he still did it, and that counts for something.
That does count for something. That's very interesting. When I talked to him, he also told me he had absolutely no interest in Ree in that way. However, he does value her. He made that very clear. More than any of us. I mean, he values her more than he values any of us. Understandably so.
She's just gonna kind of smile and then fight back a yawn.
I mean, I got a long rest, so if you need to sleep, you can sleep now. I can wake everybody up when it's time.
No, we can keep watch. I'm not gonna. You're not going through this part alone.
She just smiles and sort of shrugs and stares in the fire.
All right, Gray. So, Ree is fast asleep, drooling and having beautiful dreams of yeah, old Pudushian biscuits. Pudushian? I don't know. I don't like it either way.
That's probably how it's said, yeah.
To the more intellectual folk, right? Okay, so Gray, you're sitting here. You see these two kind of go over and sit down. with your innate alert level perception, you absolutely notice the slightly affectionate nudge and then a full-blown conversation begin. And there's a little part of the back of your mind that goes, I knew it. But that is immediately squashed by a cold presence that creeps over your shoulders and up the back of your neck as if a spider had just run up the base of your spine and onto the top of your head. As you feel the familiar chill kind of creep over you, you already know as the static clicks into your brain and you feel the connection open. You hear.
Well, hello, Mr. Gray. 'Twould seem you've won the day. Tell me this or riddle me that. Your friend, there, the one who was once a cat? She stinks like the weave and she lost her breath, yet the only explanation I see is feigned death. 'Twasn't you who cast upon her necromancy so foul, but perhaps it was the goblin boy, the one with the torn cowl. Beware of him, the boy of green blood, even if his kind are as smart as mud. He, too, stinks like the cup from which the doc drinks, though his is different, much different, methinks.
And with that, you feel the cowl drift back over the top of your head and down your spine. And before you can get a word off, the connection... And it's about that time that you pick up every word that was just said about Gray and Gray's shadowy shit from the two across from you.
I think after that, Gray would kind of think to himself, like whispering to himself, he'd be like, "Oh, great, back to riddles again." And then, as if he remembered something from their discussion, he's gonna look around, and because it's dark, no, he can. Oh wait, I have some dark vision, so I guess he'll probably hop out and see if he can find the dagger that he threw and missed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and give me a... So, as you two are talking to each other, and before you kind of go into your thing, Gray, like, Doc says, yeah, or no, we'll say Aurora at this point has said something about, you know, the shadowy stuff. All of a sudden, Gray just stands up, looks left and right, and just walks off. Not alarmed, just like, something just clicked and he stood up and just fucking walked away.
Do you think you heard us say he's a nice guy?
Yes.
If he did, he probably won't be back in the morning. He does have a reputation to maintain, after all.
So, Gray, go ahead and give me an investigation check. You know where you threw the dagger, so the perception isn't quite as important as the actual getting down and getting dirty and looking for it. Yep, no problem. You actually, it was funny because where you had thrown the dagger was over near where the bridge was, and as you get over to the bridge, you're like, I'm never gonna find this fucking thing, and sure as shit, the moonlight catches something that sheens on the bridge, and the dagger is stuck in the bridge, point first. Perfect for the taking.
Might have missed, but this is still a win for me. Imagine throwing the dagger and getting it stuck in this position.
It's a pretty good throw. Now, if you would have hit a fleshy target, that point would have been right in it.
For all 4 points damage, I believe.
Right. So you two...
After that,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
we'll head back.
Okay. So you two finish your conversation, and then within, you know, about 5 10 minutes or so, all of a sudden Gray comes walking back. At first, you just hear the rumbling of the path, and instinctively you go for weapons, and then you see Gray step into the light of the fire. Now, I'd like to imagine that you still hold your weapons, regardless of it being Gray, but it's Gray. You're confident it's Gray.
Whoa. You shot me enough. Put him down.
Are you
Specifically looking at Aurora.
everything good?
Oh yeah, I lost my knife. Figured I'd go look for it.
You get a, if you want, I probably can help you figure out like a tie for your boot or something so you don't lose it anymore.
It's fine, I'll probably just stop throwing it.
You threw it?
Yeah. A knife, it's a weapon?
Yeah, but you don't do that. That's cute.
That's a lie. I have done it multiple times. In fact, I used Jaw to stab the one leech thing. I stabbed a zombie the first night we met. But other than that, I haven't
saw
really.
that.
That's because I was in a different room.
Oh, yeah, they'll do it.
Because Aurora kicked me out from Ree's offer.
That sounds the tricks.
God damn it.
Do you... I don't know how to say this without offending you. If you would like help with the best way to throw those, I'm pretty decent with it. If it's not Ree as the target.
I'll think about it. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take first watch if you want.
All right. Have fun, Xavier. I don't know what just happened.
Sorry, somebody grabbed a dab, so I had to dab.
I see. Keep doing it. And I guess Gray will kind of go lie down. Also, actually, they'll probably point to like the tents and go, I missed one bag. It has a lot of silver. I have another with more silver in it. We can split that later.
Doc actually has a split second where she looks kind of shocked, and then... Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay, so
And sorry,
Sorry.
once he lays down, she's just gonna lean over, and she's gonna lean over to her and go, "What was that?"
Maybe he's trying to be nice.
yeah.
If that helps you sleep at night.
All right. So Lucy, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh,
So
boy.
we are flashing forward to the middle of watch number 1.
Oh no.
Awesome. So, about 5 hours into watch 1, which is Doc and Aurora, Gray, who has been asleep for a little while at this point, he shifts hard, rolls over in his bedroll. He makes an audible snoring sound. I know everybody here has heard, well, maybe not Lucy, because Lucy's not from America, and there are far fewer fat people in Africa than there are in America. But people who have sleep apnea typically are heavier set. Not always, but typically. There is a specific sound when they stop breathing that is like a panicked inward gasp followed by an immediate fleshy obstruction, and that is the only way I can explain it. He makes that noise before you guys hear the following.
Not today, friend. Sleep well.
And then he falls asleep.
Doc's gonna slowly turn and look at Aurora.
let's just keep an eye on that.
Doc scoots over a little closer if that's possible.
I mean, look, what are y'all trying to start right now? Because you can get as close as you fucking want, but we'll maybe just, like, you know, PG-13 the details out of this.
I can handle creep shit, but that's just.
I'm glad that Gray is above creepy shit. Thank you.
I came out of an egg like 3 nights ago, and that doesn't even rank on the weird ass scale compared to his shit.
No, it does not. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna. I have a mantra, and that is, it's probably fine. I'm just gonna telling myself.
And we can add on mine, which is, and if it's not, we'll shoot it until it is.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna, for the sake of brevity, move forward. The remainder of your shift of your watch concludes. You wake you wake Gray and Ree up. They awake with no other issues. You two bed down, and Ree and Gray, you finish out the night. And according to the percentile dice, there is no other issues whatsoever throughout the evening. If there's anything that you would like to accomplish during this time besides keeping watch, you're more than welcome to do that now.
Well, first off, Ree would, when awoken, Ree would like, fuck off my business, Chuck. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, watch it. And then she probably
fucked up my biscuits.
Eventually,
Chuck.
like, you know, actually patrol the area, because like at this point she's trying to find Gimbal to see if he's like around here, and she's kind of talking to herself a little bit, almost talking to Gimbal also. And she's kind of like up on the bridge, like, hey, I don't know if you're out there or you can hear me or anything, Gimbal, but thanks for helping out. I mean, you've always kind of been an asshole, but this was kind of cool of you. Appreciate that.
Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
Okay. Just splatted on 11 there.
Take your 11 and like it.
Just didn't even give me any other option. Just you're getting a fucking 11.
So yeah, there's a new setting in D&D Beyond. It's the "Don't Tease Me" dice, and that's
Right.
you just. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow that up with an Arcana check, please. Definitely your specialty.
Strong suit.
I love making characters who would know nothing about fucking magic do. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not bad. Okay, so
Perfectly ever.
So you, as you're walking around, you're kind of talking to yourself, you're going about your business, or talking outwards to Gimbal. Especially around where the dire fern was, when you kind of stop and look around there, you clearly notice that even through all of the scuffle and the combat and all of the blood that was there are very clearly two sets of footprints. One is absolutely gnomish footprints, and you can confirm that because they come from the direction that you guys came. The second set, though, they come from actually down south of where you guys were, and as you compare the sizes of the footprints, they're just slightly larger than the gnomish ones, and as you look at the way the boots are pointed, you can see these are definitely goblin footprints. So you track the footprints going south into the brush, into the ferns and the grasses for probably about 300-400 feet. As you get to a point where they just stop, you look around on the ground around it, and you notice that the grass has actually been beaten down in a large spiral around the last set of tracks that you encountered. You're not entirely sure what that means, but past that point, there are no tracks. It's like they just materialized here, the grass got bed down, and then they started moving north towards where that fern was, that Doc was found under.
Kind of booyah you picked up between the time I haven't seen you, but some crazy shit, man. So I just want to say again, thank you. And yeah, next time we meet again, I don't know, I'll give you a high five or something. I guess you're cool in my book again, buddy.
So as you say that, and you begin to turn back around, there is a very obvious, non-hallucinated vibration from your nugget.
Did it light up a little bit?
It did not light up, just a vibration.
Thank you too, Carl.
And now there's a quick pulse, a quick firefly pulse.
There we go.
Carl gets jealous.
Yeah. All right, she'll make her way back to camp.
Okay. So you get back to camp, get yourself situated. Again, the rest of the night, it goes very, very easily. Gray, is there anything that you wanted to accomplish during the time that you were not resting?
I guess he'll watch Ree leave and go, okay, guess I'm keeping watch tonight. And then I guess he'll just turn around and keep watch.
Sorry, I guess she would have mentioned that she's just going on patrol. It's like just a quick loop around. She'll be right back, kind of thing.
And she stays true to her word. She's really only gone for about 25, 30 minutes. And you being a pretty intelligent creature yourself, Gray, well, at least more than the goblin, you know that by the time she gets back, oh yeah, that was easily a loop around, maybe a little here or there discovery, and that's all there is to it.
Plus, if you're perception, I'm sure you heard her clomping around and muttering to herself the whole way.
She was absolutely not quiet. You actually at one point hear her walking away from the camp, and the footsteps get quiet because you just can't pick it up quite that far out, and you have a moment of internal panic before you hear the back towards you, and you're like, oh, thank God. Unfortunately, with the heavy footfalls of that little tiny goblin, it could have either been an ogre or her. Thank goodness it was her. Okay, so for the sake of brevity, the remainder of the evening progresses with no issues whatsoever, and dawn comes. So, we will officially pick up, quote-unquote, it's about, we'll say, 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, the 27th of Mugem. And
With a quick little descriptive thing.
yes,
And that's just that she would have just wouldn't have said anything, just would have set aside one of the pelts for Doc before they went to bed.
Oh.
She's got her own, but she just would have set it over there for her.
so when Doc wakes up, or when the two watchmen from overnight wake up the other two, is Doc found in a pelt? Or covered in a pelt? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you all wake up, you prepare your spells, you can go ahead and, because this was a long rest, you regain half of your hit dice, rounded down, so that would be everybody regains 3 hit dice, and that's that. So, you awake in the morning, and here you all are. What would you like to do?
So should we head back to town and let the guys know that their buddies were smooshed?
Yes, but first. And Doc will go in her backpack, dig around a little bit, and take out a little package. Almost it's like wrapped in cloth napkin. And we'll distribute one gnomish macaroon to each person.
Oh, shit.
She's gonna give lemon to Ray.
Joke's on you. Lemon is the best fucking macaroon in the lot. Unless you're allergic to lemon, in which case, make a constitution saving throw.
No, I think he's good, but with his constitution, maybe.
Yeah, he's just that sickly kid. Sorry.
But she'll let people do pictures. Everybody take one. We should have a celebratory breakfast, and also leave a long way to travel. So she'll kind of look side eye over it. Or go ahead.
I was gonna say the biggest tragedy probably would have been the loss of the macaroons.
It would have been. Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just mark those macaroons off, and you are all fed for the day.
In all seriousness, everybody, thank you for, diving in. I didn't expect to get turned into a pincushion. And I could actually hear things that were going on. And I know that everybody was everybody was just incredible yesterday. And so thanks.
Excuse me.
Will you ever get pincushioned again? Shout just as loud as you did last time. Well, probably a shot.
Yeah,
As long as I
we're definitely
Probably.
not gonna
Probably. Maybe.
be as far away as we were. At least I won't. I don't know about anybody else.
As long as I don't get shot through the neck, I don't think I'm gonna have too much of a choice. It was kind of involuntary yell. Actually,
Don't worry, I seem to be the main target of that.
of the yell?
Of the pincushion neck arrows.
Yeah, this appears to be this.
Hey, if we're comparing pin cushions, I think I won that
Oh, yeah,
challenge, guys.
absolutely.
I mean, I had like 15 arrows in me.
That's a lot of arrows.
So way too many arrows.
I mean, you came in here and slapped them around. I could hear it from where I was at. You are a force to be reckoned with, Ree.
Well, they fucked up my bestie. What the fuck did I mean? They had it coming.
Your cheeks flush a little bit. Yeah. I agree. Maybe I won't be so far away next time.
That's not you. It's me. I should have been closer. That's all. And yeah, we all survived it. So, next time we'll be better.
And speaking of, how Aurora wants to look around and kind of take stock and see how everyone is injury-wise.
Okay, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
I haven't done this in a while. Used to start every session with this.
I know. Well, we haven't needed to. We roleplay so goddamn much. Everyone's at full health.
Oh,
Until you all let me ambush you. Oh, that's no good.
Nope, halfling, I get to reroll it.
Yep, that's true. If you roll another nat 1, it was just meant to be.
Yeah.
If I roll another nat one, then she choked on her macaroon.
Yeah. Hey, there we go, a 21. All right. So yeah, you look around at everybody. Everybody is at 100% full health except for Ree, who literally just has a little tiny nick on her cheek, and under her cheek with a 21, you actually see a little bulge out of her cheek that is not accompanied by a mole. As you look closer, it looks like she still has a piece of a fractured arrow in her cheek.
Ugh, Ray, you might want Doc to take a look at that.
What is it?
Doc rushes over to read the look. What is it?
Yeah,
What
and
is it a leech?
Doc, make a medicine check with advantage because it was pointed out.
I can kill it if it was a leech.
Wow, 21 and 21. I think these two were meant for each other. So I'm not feeding this. So you can see there is a scab that's about 3 inches long on Ree's left cheek, and a little tiny, probably 2 centimeter round bulge underneath the skin that also has a scab and no mole accompanying it. As you kind of press around, it moves freely under the skin, best you can surmise is, yeah, sure as shit, Ree caught an arrow across the side of the face, a glancing blow, but we know about these what we know about these Knoll arrows is that when they hit, they are intended to fracture on impact. So a piece of this broke off in her cheek and continued past her.
Doc goes, oh, here, look over there. She'll point so that way Ree will look in a direction, and then she'll start sail for ale, and just with the dagger, quickly just like get it out like a splinter almost, like just kind of pull it out. Allow me to?
Yeah, okay, let's do surgery. Make a medicine check. It's with your dagger, though? You're not even gonna use, like, your medicine kit?
Yeah, I guess I could use my medicine.
I mean, that's fine, but look, we're taking unnecessary...
Short sword.
Yeah, we're using unnecessary...
Well, I was thinking...
She's like, give me that fucking hammer.
If it's only this tiny thing that I would try, yeah, she should check out her
Because, I mean, there's, like, a scalpel and stuff in the medicine kits, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay, so go ahead.
Guidance myself before?
I mean, sure. So so Doc touches her nugget. The nugget flashes with this divine energy, which she then reaches down and touches the scalpel with, comes up, peels the scab off. You literally don't feel a thing. With a 19, it's literally the scab gets peeled up, there's one little tiny trickle of blood, and bloop, sure as shit, the piece of stone arrowhead pops out into her hand like it's nothing. Now, Ree is still wounded, but the arrowhead is now out.
Honestly, I don't think Doc would become really wounded, so she would cast Cure Wounds on the wound.
Okay.
First level.
Go ahead and cast. Yep. So the arrowhead, the chunk of the arrowhead pops out into your hand. You then put the scalpel down, put your hand over her face, and as you mutter your incantation, Ree, you regain 3 hit points.
Ah,
One. Great.
still better than I was looking in the morning or at night.
Yeah, and Ree still looks wounded at this point, but not by a whole lot.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Like, what you were able to patch up with that was you were able to close where you just reopen that scab, and it just re-scabs over. You guess that probably in the next day or so, she'll be fine.
It's fucking Knoll arrows, man. They're nasty.
Yes, they are. The shrapnel is a force to be reckoned with.
Alright. So, are we done here? What do you guys think? Should we, like, take their heads and bring them back to the guild there? You think they want those? Ears?
No, I think they just wanted to know what happened to their men.
But will they have proof?
Did they have any sigils on them or any, like, necklaces or anything like that to, like, identify them?
Yes.
Sure, the
So
bodies had something, but they're kind of, and he'll point to like a pile of ash.
Oh.
yeah, so you guys did burn them before you looted anything from them. However, each one of them did have an insignia that looked like this on them. And then you threw them all in a pile and set them ablaze. So yeah.
Is there anything in the tents? Ray, I know you. I didn't actually look in the other tent yet. I know we talked about splitting treasure leaders and stuff, but I'll go into the tent, specifically the one that Ray pointed out, and see if I can find any of those sigils.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check for me. Yeah, by the way, I had a small note to myself last week, from last week notes that said, holy shit, they set them on fire. And that was all I left it at. But I put a time marker on it, so when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, you guys just threw them in a pile and just torched them. Okay. 16. Yeah, so as you're digging around through the tents, because the tents, they've been investigated at this point, but not thoroughly. As you really go through, you happen to find 3, like, actual metal, they're copper and iron badges, and they have that same Inscriptionist Guild symbol on them. On the back of them, there are dots. One of the badges has a single dot, which is literally just looks like a metal punch was just hit once on the back of it. And then the other 2 have 2 dots.
I think Gray would kind of also, I guess, shout over as Doc's investigating. There's also still a bag of coin in there, I think.
I I know, that's why I came in here. So Doc will also grab a bag of coin. But she will take those badges. And then she'll come out and she'll have one in one hand, two in the other. Be like, look what I found. All that extra rest I got. Have my eyes ready for searching.
So the bag of coin. So there was the big bag of silver, and then there was the chest that had all the other shit in it.
Oh, I thought there were 2 bags.
No, there was a chest that had all of the stuff in it. And then there was, well, I mean, there may have been 2 bags of coins, because it's a lot of fucking coins. But the chest is the one that, remember we talked about this? There was a bunch of leather armors, there was Drake pelts, there was...
I grabbed the bag. I mean the chest. I grabbed that one. I just wanted to know if there was still, like, another, bag of coin left. Because I could only carry the chest and a single bag.
Gotcha, yeah, so there are 2 sacks of coin. So Doc, I'm assuming you're just gonna empty those straight into the coin purse. Okay, so it is 10,000 silver pieces and 500 copper.
Alright. Is there weight to the badges?
No, negligible. Thank you for asking, though. I do appreciate that. All right, so you guys gather the coin, and it takes a long time, by the way, for you to pour 10,000 silver coins into the coin purse, as it's kind of hard to funnel them all. So it takes about 45 minutes for you to actually, 10,000 individual coins, 10,500 technically. So you finish that, you gather the 3 badges, and I'm assuming you are making for Underhill?
Yeah.
Was everything else that was here already inside the portable hole? I'm specifically thinking about the Drake pelt.
Yes, everything that was gathered. So let me just back this up really quick so I have the details here. So this is what was identified, just so everybody has clarity. There was leather armors, bronze drake pelts, not dragon pelts, bronze drakes, but it was pelts, 40 crossbow bolts, and that was it. Oh no, I'm sorry, there was a star rose quartz in there as well. But I don't know who had that. So we're going to say that goes in the chest. All right, there was a small box that had a single star rose quartz in it. Okay, anyways, yes, but that is all in the chest. And that was everything of value. Again, you could loot anything you wanted to from the gnolls. There was shitloads of spears, hide shields. There is lots of suits of leather armor that appears to be made from the leather hides of other gnolls. There are all sorts of weird contraptions and like fetishes that are adorned on the gnolls. A couple of daggers, and then I know, Kat, we talked last time about gathering the arrows. They're just 1 shot each because of the shrapnel. So you've got all that already.
Yep, and I've got them marked separately.
The bows that they had, were they long bows or were they short bows?
They were all long bows.
And that's something that a short person like myself could not use?
You can use it, but you always fire at disadvantage.
Okay. Then Rhea will pick up the spears, a couple spears, and like 6 maybe.
Fucking help yourself. There's literally like 30 between the 20 some odd creatures that were here. So you can take as many spears as you'd like, and then Kat, understood, you take a gnoll longbow. You don't have to notate that it was a gnoll longbow. It functions just as any other longbow.
She's gonna take some time and look at the different ones and pick out the one that's in the least gnolly condition. So
okay, make an investigation check for me.
Okay. I figured we've got time while Doc's pouring coins, so. Oh no, forgot how bad my investigation was.
We don't do that here. No, 18, that's not bad. So as you gather all of the longbows up, you kind of start to identify them. You kind of put some weight on them. You have to like look around and make sure nobody's looking, so you can jump and put your weight to see how their bend works. You know how the tension is. You get to 1, and it was the one that the Gnoll leader was using. This thing was not made by Gnolls. This was probably made by humans. It's definitely not Elvish make, and it's definitely not any of the other savage races. But it has a quality to it that is made of actual yew, instead of like the cheaper woods that are found in this area, which is what the Gnolls were using. And it is also not adorned with any fetishes. It has no markings on it except for blood, which just came with the combat. So you find essentially a standard longbow.
Well, okay. Then that will be her longbow, and a little bit of prestidigitation can clean up any blood and stuff from that anyway if I need to. So.
If you need to.
How tall is the longbow?
Oh, it's big. It's like 1.5 times the size of a halfling. They're almost 6 feet tall.
By the way,
Yeah, I know.
black.
I have done a lot of research. I just want you to know I've done a lot of research in the last 2 weeks. Kat reached out to me and was like, I'm going to carry a longbow anyways because fuck it. And she's right. You can't double disadvantage. Now, I, as the DM, wanted to say, you can't do that because you literally don't have the draw length to fire it. And that's true. But
That's why I asked.
But here's my thought though, right? As a DM, if you're gonna have disadvantage to fire it anyways, it means you are firing it with such little proficiency, and it's such a Hail Mary every time you do it that fuck it, you might as well. I mean, sure, why not? It's like if I gave my son a longbow and said, "Here, I want you to shoot that fucking house, 2 blocks away," and he's like, "I don't know if I can do it." And I said, just launch the arrow and see what happens. Right? It's a Hail Mary every single time, and there's something exciting about that.
I don't approve.
Made the difference in that combat.
When Doc's done pouring coin and turns around and sees this longbow, how are you carrying this? Is it like strapped to your back, or are you just carrying it with your hands?
No, it's going into the bag.
Oh, into your bag.
Yeah,
Yep.
it gets put neatly inside the bag next to the tooth. That's as long as the fucking longbow is. So, it's just,
Lucy, that's hilarious because I always tell my kids, anything can be a hat if you try hard enough.
Sure.
I swear to God, I say it all the fucking time. They've told their teachers before. Yeah.
So, all of this coin reminded me. I think I might need somebody to carry some of my stuff. But I don't know if I can, like, she'll dig through her backpack and take out a bottle. So she eyeballs both Aurora and Ree. This is a mostly empty bottle of Fire Belly. It's already mostly empty.
Well, like, what are you talking about mostly? I mean, like, is it like, you want me to finish it? I'll finish it.
I was more hoping you would just carry it for now, and then maybe you and I can
Oh.
share something.
Oh, yeah, alright.
Okay. So that's 1 pound, Kevin.
Oh.
Yeah, and as she hands you the jug, you kind of like slosh it around, and you're like, oh, there's at least enough in here to get both Doc and Gray fucked up for 2 days. For you, you might catch a buzz.
She'll take a swig.
It's fucking delicious. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. It's delicious and nutritious.
Love it.
As you guys see,
Burns all
like
the
this,
way down.
there's like this little tiny wisp of smoke that comes out of Ree's nose as she exhales.
Sorry, I'm looking really quick what else I can do.
You can hand over that chalice.
Did Grace say that or Lucy?
Lucy.
Okay. Things are about to get real. She'd actually take out a potion and say, you should probably have this anyway, and hand over a potion of healing.
What kind of potion of healing?
It just says potion of healing. That's
Is it, oh, so okay, so just standard.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
standard. So I'm gonna have one on me, and I'm gonna hand
Okay.
And it is half an hour.
Potion of healing.
Okay, now I can keep up. Well, I can keep up like I normally would be able to keep up.
Okay. So with that, you are setting sail to Underhill. Yes?
For ale.
Okay. Whoever is
Sail for ale.
whoever is leading, please give me a survival check.
Guess Ree will lead again.
And Aurora to help since this is favored terrain for her, and they get bonuses and stuff.
Okay. On that note, then, Kevin, go ahead and make a survival check with advantage.
I was gonna guidance, but I think advantage is better.
Yeah, I'm not going to grant the... So, guidance is more of a reactive thing. This is over the course of hours.
Sure, that makes sense.
The advantage is obviously all she needed.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely helped.
give me a second.
I didn't realize we had the same survival bonus.
Oh, we do?
So not only do you manage to masterfully guide the group back towards Underhill, but instead of making it a 1.5-day journey, you knock out an entire half a day. When you get back to the point where you found the stag, you actually find the trail that the gnolls were hunting it on, which leads you back up and around a small pass that diverts you about 20 miles or so out of the way, or back into the way. It was like kind of like a sneaky little sneak. Yeah, you know the sneak.
Sneaky
And
motherfuckers.
and over the course of this next full day, which will include a long rest, which for the sake of brevity, we will move through, and you arrive in Underhill. So, let me grab my chart real quick, my calendar here. So you guys have traveled for an entire day, a full day, which again includes a long rest, and you arrive at the gates of Underhill on Saturday the 28th of Mugem at, we will say, 10:45, because I'm being wild today, apparently. I try to do things in half-hour increments, but here we are. So, 10:45 in the morning, you guys show up at the front gates of Underhill. If there's anything you wanted to do over that entire day's worth of travel, please let me know. All right.
Actually,
Uh-oh.
if Kat is willing, Gray would kind of approach Aurora and go, "Look, I saw that spell you tried to cast. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not great at combat spells. Also, I'm pretty sure your magic works differently than mine, but mine's more similar to yours than Doc's. I can help you try not to hit one of us, at least, or help understand it a bit better. If you want. Trust me, this is more for me than for you."
Aurora looks like she opens her mouth to make that, immediate fighting retort, and then stops. That would be nice.
All right. I guess then along the way, Gray would try and help Aurora with magic.
Okay, so so I already know where this is going. Kat, how many spell slots do you have between first and second level added together?
1 minute. Look. I had 7, I believe. 7.
Holy shit. Okay, so the spell that Gray is referencing is what we refer to as, in the trades, Chaos Bolt, because that is what sprung the fire from your hands. Gray asks you, as you're walking, this is just a nonchalant thing, and then we're going to say through the course of the day, once every couple hours, it's kind of like, hey, tell me the incantation again, how did it go? And then you reach deep down inside of you, you pull the energies up, you mutter the incantation, flash the sigil, and boom. And each time, it is a different element, and you just don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. But what Gray is... and actually, Gray, give me make an Arcana check for me, please. It's a good fucking roll. So what Gray is capable of telling you, and is what he understands of this spell, is that as he is watching you do it, he understands that within the incantation itself is the arcane syllable for chaos. There is also the arcane syllable for bolt and the arcane syllable for damage. And as you weave those three together and project it outwards, you're incapable of actually controlling the element that is summoned forth. But you are capable of directing the bolt where you want it to go. So we'll say through the course of the day, of the entirety of the day, these 7 projections of Chaos Bolt, you see a lightning, a stone, you see a psychic, you see an acid, and then you see 2 frost right at the end. Or 2 cold ice bolts, essentially. You are capable of understanding that there is a lot of guesswork in this spell, but it's only because it's by its very nature and it has nothing to do with you. That's wrong. Technically, it has everything and nothing to do with you at the same exact time, which is more arcane conundrum, right? I mean, this is some existential shit. Why am I here? Why does chaos magic do this? Are we chaos magic? Am I chaos magic? And then you start to spiral down a rabbit hole. No, I'm just kidding. Chaos! Yeah, it's like aliens, right? The hair and everything. But you do get a better grip on the spell as he is saying, okay, he's like, you know, he'll grab your hand and be like, I understand you said this syllable and this syllable, but if you move it over here just a hair and project it like you were shooting your bow, see, now you've got a better whoop, whoop. And those last 2 both come out as cold bolts, and man, does it feel good.
While they're doing that, because we would have kind of split up then, Doc would say to Ree, so I'm really confused about how to feel Gimbal. Because I was real mad at him for basically making me kill you.
Yeah.
But then he kind of redeemed it. But now I'm like wondering, did he put that out so nobody else would put that out because he knew that I would take it, and then it would be me and you would be fine?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Maybe he's just trying to make sure nobody, I guess, better comes and does the job, you know? But even still, that's weird. Like, why the fuck would he care?
Well, so I never, I mean, I was kind of surprised that you two had a negative history.
I mean, it wasn't like negative, I guess. You're just a fucking, you know.
We're obviously speaking, we're going kind of in and out of Goblin. I assume
Oh,
we're going to
Oh, we're in Goblin? Okay.
So, I mean, I had no idea that he was also the Dwarf Boy. I didn't really think, I thought he was just long gone. I don't know. This is all really confusing.
Do you think he's still in Underhill? Or do you think he's long gone again?
I think he's probably gone. No. I think we won't see him. I don't know if he's gone, but I don't think we'll see him because he's obviously around and watching.
He doesn't want us to see him.
Right. So I don't know. I have a little bit of soul searching to do. Being a cleric kind of complicates things a little bit.
Suppose it would. Dog Littergold being, you know, that wily character that he is, I suppose, makes things a little bit interesting.
Yeah, and you know, so I think if Garl was mad at me, I wouldn't be able to kill you guys. So we're not there yet.
Actually, I wanted to bring up something I noticed just last night. I was on patrol, walking around the camp and such, and Yeah, I was trying to talk to Gimbal to try to see if he was still around and about, and at some point my nugget vibrated a little bit. Not so much like when you talk to Garl and all, it'll light up and let you know he's there. But this time it was just a little vibration. I've never had that happen before. But when I was specifically talking to Gimbal, do you think they're, I don't know, buddies? Plus, I can't imagine he has the kind of magic that will make a whole scene like we saw appear.
No, I can't. Would I?
Make a religion check. I already know where you're going with this, and I have answers.
We'll see if
DM
my
business.
check is Good enough.
We'll see. Be crazy if the cleric was proficient in religion. She's definitely not proficient in religion, but she still rolled really fucking well. So the glitter brights are they're on it today. So when a nugget of Garl, which has been blessed by Garl, vibrates but does not light up, it means that there is an understanding of something being overcome, whether that be a moral dilemma or a confrontation or an acceptance of something that was not going to change regardless of the happenings of the outcome of the situation. It's kind of like, hey, I am okay with the fact that, Mima passed into the beyond. Zzz, okay, got my text message, thanks, Garl. But this is the weirdest way I've ever explained a god contacting someone. But when it lights up, it's that Garl himself is actually acknowledging your existence as a being. And Garl is notorious for being one of the most available gods in the entire pantheon of gods. Garl is there for all Glitterbrights, whether he grants them divine abilities or not.
So, okay. You know how? I can start there. You know
Here we
how
go.
when you?
I was waiting for her to drop the word Mima.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
Okay, do it.
You know how when you are part of a big family and there's like a lot of the same age group, and Mima has a favorite, and
The fuck's a Mima? That was common, but
it's grandma.
oh, Gimbo Gambo. Oh, okay.
God damn it, Kevin. Okay, take a DM inspiration. That's too much.
So when Mima has a favorite and you get the biggest portion of stew because you're the favorite,
No.
it actually is kind of like that.
Oh. Usually if I'm like in Poodoo, if you're the favorite, you don't get kicked in the head in the morning. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And you're just you're like fuck you, but this is my stew, but I'm not gonna kick you in the morning, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's not like that at all, though.
Okay.
I'll kick you next afternoon.
Gimbo Gambo. I'm learning things, which I love.
And ironically enough, when Gimbo Gambo is translated from Goblin to Common, I mean it is 100%. It means Mima.
It's exactly Mima.
I mean identical.
Literal Mima.
The literal translation. Yes.
So it was a good sign for sure. It was kind of like a hey, I see what you're doing, kind of a. I don't know. So the reason I thought Garl was a good choice for you, and I didn't really say it, but this doesn't really dawn on me. There are a lot of other deities out there who are not as attentive, much less like Mima. Gimbo Gambo. And I think, that's why I think that it's working so well because Garl knows that when we are out doing these crazy things that we're doing and getting ourselves into situations, that we do need that little extra bit of attention. And if you are willing to dedicate yourself to him, he is willing to be there for you.
Excuse me.
Really nice.
It is nice. It is nice. And honestly, I'm really glad that you didn't just tell me you weren't interested in buying what I was selling, because I think that this was really the best route we could have gone for you to not feel that sinking feeling every time you did what you needed to do. Hopefully you're feeling a little more uplifted than you were before.
I am now, and thank you. I'm well, to be honest, I'm a little bit messed up about the things I had to do in that camp, but I suppose I feel a little bit less guilty about it this time around.
Oh, I'm sorry I put you in that position.
Like, you couldn't have known they were gonna all be.
I couldn't have known they're all going to be dog-like.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, we didn't know exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we knew there were gnolls in the area, but we didn't know it was there and how many of them there would be. So yeah, you know.
Well, like I said, I could hear everything, and I know that wasn't easy for you, but you went through it anyway. So, whatever amount of praying you have to do when you get back to Underhill, I'll do it with you.
Thank you. That's one of my stops at some point to go talk to the.
We'll go together.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, the remainder of the day progresses. The two arcane scholars, we'll call them, although one of them is not really an arcane scholar, just pretending to be. Right, Lucy? So the rest of the day progresses. You go through the incantations, and you continue to learn and show the proper ways to perform the arcane incantations. At the end of it, Aurora, you do feel much more in tune with the way of at least the flow of the magic of the Chaos Bolt. And Doc and Ree have a beautiful conversation before you all, again, bed down for the night, and you awake in the morning. The night goes by without any issues whatsoever, and we find ourselves at the gates of Underhill at about 10:45 in the morning. This is also taken into consideration, you guys waking up, praying, preparing, and eating. Does anybody want to provide rations or other items before arriving in Underhill?
We've got more venison that we need to go through before it goes bad, so I will share some of that. Also, I just want to say that Aurora doesn't make a single snarky comment during the learning. It is especially when he's helping her aim and stuff. She's hyper focused and attentive to it.
Understood.
While Gray is exactly the opposite.
Which is why you guys work so fucking perfectly together, because there is this weird intermediate balance between the syllable and gesture incantation versus the actual aiming process to get it going. And the receptiveness of both of you to each other's necessity is just top notch. On that note, give me 1 second, Aurora. I am pulling you up. I just need to have a quick look at your inventory. Okay, disregard. No. So everybody eats about a pound of venison, so you can remove 4 pounds of venison from the cooked venison. Do that before salted, because salted stays better longer. And yeah, that's that.
So you said 4?
Yeah, 4. It's 1 pound for each. All right, so 10:45 in the morning. Saturday the 28th of Mugem. You arrive at the walls of Underhill and enter. What?
Okay, I'm
So-
sorry.
Oh.
I just realized I'm fucking blind because I just realized there's roads in this map.
Oh yeah, they're super subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you didn't notice my roads? Oh man, I made them. Hang on, let's jump back over to the... Yeah, you just noticed all the roads. Oh, that makes my heart so warm. There's actually only 4 roads that I have on this map in particular. Because there's...
I thought you were talking about the roads.
Oh, you're talking about...
Underhill
Oh,
roads.
in
Yeah.
Underhill.
Underhill.
Yeah, they're...
Apparent here.
I'm like, what? I'm colorblind.
Are you actually colorblind?
It's only slightly, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
It's colors like these fuck with me.
Yeah, so it's a very, I mean, the problem is, even if you zoom in really close, the patterns on the brickwork is so similar that, yeah, it's very particular. But yes, there are roads. There are indeed.
This looks like the colorblind test they do over here. At
It
least.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. See, they don't do those colorblind tests in Nigeria. They just say, "Can you see green?" I don't know what green is. You are colorblind. Lucy, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah. By the way, that's not a person that tells you that. It's a goat who makes you take the test.
Speaking of ghosts,
Uh-oh.
So, I suppose, yeah, throughout the journey, yeah, every once in a while kind of like peek at Josa if there's any kind of change or anything like that.
No change whatsoever at all. However, if you are going to take a little bit of time to, look her over, you are more than welcome to give me an Arcana check.
I was gonna say too. At one point, at the first time that Reed takes Josa out, Doc would put a cure wounds into her as well, just to see if it helps.
Into Josa?
Yes.
As soon as so you cast the incantation, you hold the magic, and as you reach down and touch the cold stone, the spell dissipates. Actually, we'll say for the sake of an interesting scene, the spell goes off, but because Ree is holding Josa, the energy pulsates through the stone and into Ree, and the scab on her face peels and falls off, and she's left with this beautiful little scar.
Ooh, thank you. But I don't think it helps Josa.
Yeah, but Josa, there's no issue. And as you look at Josa, you're just like, you tap her on rocks, you hit her on your head, you gnaw on the horns. You have no fucking idea what's going on with this thing.
Well, maybe we'll take it to the temple and maybe we'll get a little bit of a better idea.
Oh, I have an idea. If they can't help us, she slows herself down for a second. Maybe we can visit our friend Xavier.
He's not in Underhill though.
No, but maybe he can come visit us here. We just have to send a message. We can't take Gray to Middleton, but maybe Xavier wants to travel a little bit.
Yeah, sure. We got a little bit of time here, sure.
Okay, so you arrive back in Underhill. You are here. The city streets are bustling. People seem, on average, much happier than they were a couple weeks ago. Well, I guess you weren't here a couple weeks ago. It's more like probably 5-6 days ago. But they are way more pleasant. Even coming into the gates, the guards, you catch smiles under helms. As they are walking in. They wave at you instead of holding their crossbows at you. The guys up in the walls, instead of seeing the iron barrels pointed down at you, they tip up and away from you. It is very obvious that the air here has been completely changed. Whether it be from your presence or not, it has changed. What would you like to do? You shut up, halfling.
Doc would make her over to Aurora, grab her hand, give her a little squeeze, give her a reassuring glance, and then go inside.
Okay.
She'll return the pressure.
So you enter Underhill. Where would you like to go?
If you give me a second, I just need to make sure I have the name right. I think it's Piotr. I wanted to message him.
It is Piotr, yes. Okay, so you mutter an incantation, you hold your hand up to your mouth, and you begin to whisper a message into it. What is that message?
Okay, it'll be, we have returned. We found your people. They did not make it. No, actually, great. He'd say they are dead.
Take an inspiration point. That was the most in-character thing that has happened tonight. Thank you.
He is such a sweetheart, but Gray's a dick.
Where would we meet? For payment, I guess.
So you feel the static kind of die down as the static picks up in your head to allow you to cast the spell. Sorry, go ahead.
It also go, Gray, also you can reply.
So you hear the static die down in your head, and then it picks back up as the connection refocuses, and you hear in your head the following.
Hello, my friend. This is very unfortunate news. But I thank you for everything you've done for us. Please, meet us at the house of the Dwarf Lord Inn, and we will speak about your payment. Thank you again.
And you feel the static fade out, and the spell completes.
Did you get your boys?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Did you get our guy? Do you know where we're gonna? Do you when you cast sending? Do you actually speak outwardly, or is it all internally?
I guess if it's I guess it depends on Gray. So it'd be like sometimes when he doesn't want others to hear, it'll be internally. Otherwise, it'd be outwards.
Yeah, you know he casts the spell, but I guess, you know, you don't have to actually say it out loud if you don't want to.
So I guess this one would be more outward.
Did you get our guys? Were they pissed? Were they sad?
They said it was unfortunate news, but they will meet us at the Dwarf Lord Inn for, our reward.
Oh, okay. There's a little word.
If you think about all the shit we've been through, I'm sure they're not surprised. I'm sure they were expecting an outcome like this.
I figured we'd update them fully, and when I don't have just 25 words to tell them an entire situation.
That's very considerate.
It takes some skill, for sure.
All right.
Lord Inn then?
Let's go.
All right, so to the house of the Dwarf Lord Inn we go. So,
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
when
please.
he was doing the spell, Aurora, now that she realizes that Gray's the best person to watch for this, she's watching as he's doing it and kind of trying to commit the incantation and the somatic component, kind of the memory, kind of mentally running through it, even kind of mimicking it a little bit to try and potentially replicate later.
of the sending spell,
Yep. He's trying to learn from watching him.
give me an Arcana check, please.
Okay. I mean, she has a baby message spell, so. Of course, we're back to slow motion dice. It's a 3. I don't know why it's not clicking over, but it's a 3.
That's okay. Sometimes it's a little bit delayed. So as you watch, he does it so instinctually and so fast that within the realm of instinct on its own, it catches you off guard because you're like, how the fuck did he just spat it out, and it was like it was nothing. He cast that spell in the same manner that you would will somebody back to good health after they've been poisoned or crippled or wounded in some way horribly. And as it comes out, you lose yourself in his own incantation. Before you even realize it, the whole thing is done. Ree has already asked, is everything good? And you are already walking. You heard it, and there is a subconscious portion of that I will take note of as a DM. But you did not memorize it the first time around. But you definitely now are open to hearing it. Okay, so...
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. You guys, I love your guys' tier. You guys are like my tier 1 role players, which I absolutely fucking love. Okay, so you get back to the House of the Dwarf Lord Inn. As you walk in, bear with me for just a moment. Alright, so you guys enter the House of the Dwarf Lord Inn. People are going about their business again. It's coming up to lunchtime. It's like early lunch for those who just got out of the mines. There's quite a few people in here, but they're kind of spread out and doing their own thing. You have a seat at a table, and within about 10 minutes, you see a very familiar form walk through the door. And that would be Piotr. Piotr very quickly full bureaucratic regalia, meaning the long purple robes with the sash that has the insignia of the Inscriptionist Guild, which again I will show to you right now, which is the same inscription that is on the badges that you guys found on the deceased from the Knoll ambush. He rushes over and he sits down, kind of panting, and as he throws his red hair back and over one of his ears, he kind of strokes his beard, and you see sweat beating down his face, and he says, "Excuse me, Thank you, my friends, for seeing me here today. Sorry. It is not often I have to run from one end of city to another because of a situation like this. So," and he slaps his hand down on the table, "what exactly information you have for me to bring today?"
Knolls, man. Lots and lots of knolls.
Doc will start digging through her backpack to get those badges out.
Okay, while she does that and Ree kind of gives that, Gray will kind of elaborate on that and go, yes, I'm sure, I don't know if you know what gnolls are, these hyena-like creatures, dog-like creatures, kind of human form.
Nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah. When we found the camp of your people, entire, I guess, horde of them, a lot of them,
I don't know. Yeah.
like pack would be more accurate.
He blinks heavily between the lot of you, by the way, and he's just he's drinking it in. Also, at this point, he has pulled out a scroll, and as you are all speaking individually, there are multiple iterations of these lightly glowing quills in purple energy that are writing down everything that everybody at the table says. He doesn't even cast a spell. He slaps it down on the table, they materialize, and they begin writing as you speak. Sorry, Lucy, continue.
Okay. Tarpak there. We sent our gnome here, Doc, to investigate first while we stayed back. However, apparently they found her. We heard her scream and immediately rushed. Yeah, they had an ambush there by your camp. We fought through the knolls, nearly losing Doc in the meanwhile. They had a big pack leader, much more ferocious than most of the others, but there was easily 12 plus maybe more of them.
Yeah, he had like horns coming out of his neck, and he had like this big fucking nasty jaw that came down and tried to bite my head off, but I hit his head off.
When the battle cleared, we investigated, well, the remains. Doc here found some badges with your insignia on, I believe.
Doc will slide him across the table. She hasn't said anything.
He very greedily, he reaches over and he just, as you, actually, you know what, give me an insight check, Doc.
I was going to do that anyway. Ooh.
Also, I just saw the comment, cat, goat-shaped scar. I'm in love with it, yes. Not quite, but yes, I love it. Okay, so he reaches over, his hand kind of like overlaps yours for a second, but he grabs the three badges, and not even looking at the front of them, he immediately flips them over and looks at the back of them. He points at the first, second, and on the third one, his eyes go wide, and he kind of shakes his head ever so slightly and continues to listen.
Meanwhile, the corpses themselves were in horrible condition, ripped apart completely by hyenas that they had with them. Other than that, the camp was completely destroyed. We burned the bodies in case any foul magic was on them, or, you know, anything of that sort. As well as the null bodies.
Did you assume there was some sort of foul magic? Was there necromancy involved in this burst that you would need to cremate the bodies? Did they have a spellcaster with them that was slinging such foul incantations?
In our experience, we've seen a lot of really fucked up shit and like monsters with purple shit coming back to life. So I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
We have seen things come back from the dead too many times. Yours deserved a respectful death. You deserve to stay there.
Although I appreciate your candor, you did not answer my question. Was there suspicion of necromantic activity within the confines of our inscriptionist camp?
The guys was doing some booyah stuff. Like the fucked up dude with like the horns out of coming out of his neck and like the creepy jaw.
He was magician?
Think so? Some fucked up shit. I've never seen anything like him.
So,
did any of you hear him perform arcane or divine incantation? This is very important for me because this is the difference between what we refer to as a Yenogu or a follower of the Null God by the name Yunogu, who is not spellcaster but is transformed via mutation within his very being, and a Null that was capable of performing incantation.
I don't know for myself. I was doing a lot of screaming and murdering gnolls.
A question for the DM. Since all I had was hearing, would I be able to try to do some kind of check?
that is a very good question. Roll. I'll tell you what. We're gonna call this a retroactive perception check. As you were thinking back.
Oh, come on, man. I did all my good rolls early.
Man, as soon as you went into that sweet slumber, you just fucking zoned out. It was like somebody put earmuffs on you. It's like they said, lay down, shut up, put earmuffs on you, and just forget about what you hear.
My ears died.
I think after the explanation, Gray would go. I believe it is more of the, what did you call it? Yunogu, the mutated one.
Ah, yes, Yunogu. It is a entity, typically of the Null fashion, that is blessed or cursed, I suppose, on how you look at it, by...
fucking cursed to me, yeah.
And you said large protrusions from its face, like it had spikes of bone.
Yeah.
Gray's just kind of sigh and go, I'll just show you, and I'm going to cast Major Image.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So you vocally enunciate your incantation, you flash your sigils, and as you slap the table, coming up from the table in the shape of smoke and ash, transforming into what is a perfect fucking replica of what you saw on that field, is indeed a Nullfang of Yanogu. And you see the dwarf kind of rears back. He grabs onto his seat so as to not fall off, and he goes, "Holy shit by Moradin's fucking flaming beard."
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just an illusion, and Gray will kind of like phase through, like put his arm through it.
So you put your arm through it, and he kind of like slowly reaches out, and you see him kind of like touch the shadow, and the shadow kind of like drifts up and on his finger and like wraps around a little bit. He's like, "Ugh, yeah. If this is the creature you saw, it is good it did not have magic capabilities. And it is very good that you put it out of existence. For if it should have lived, it could have mutated others to be just like it."
Well, I mean, like it's contagious or something?
It's not necessarily contagious unless it intends to be, according to the scriptures that I have seen anyways. Okay. And by this point, there are 4 magical quills that are going fucking crazy on this piece of parchment. He actually grabs the parchment, flips it over now, and says a couple of arcane syllables. You see they begin to go again. Alright, let's continue. So, you show up to campsite. Everybody is deceased. They've been completely consumed. What then? You destroy them, and that is end of story? It is easy peasy. Everybody squeeze the lemon back to town? Is that that's the saying, I believe, that the halflings have, yeah?
Well, we were very tired, so we did rest. Other than that, I think... Well, we were also badly wounded, but... Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty gnarled up from those guys. They messed me up pretty well. They messed up our doc pretty well too. So definitely needs to rest and heal.
Doc still has not said anything. She's kind of been taking in the conversation.
A hunt that is an easy hunt isn't much of one at all. It wasn't easy. There were a lot of them. They were well entrenched into your merchant's camp, but we succeeded.
I want to first and foremost thank every single one of you for not only risking your lives, but for doing so without payment on the table before you left. Second, I want to thank you for recovering details. And he picks up one of the badges and he turns it over with the 2-star. This is my brother. And I am okay with the fact that he has fled the Prime Material and gone to the plane of Mount Celestia. It will hurt me. It will hurt my mother. And it will hurt my little brother. But knowing that he is with my father in paradise, that is the best. It is the best any of us could do for anybody at this point in our existence. He puts the badge on the table. Our inscriptionists were moving a chest during this escapade, I suppose you could call it that. It was a transaction, really, going to Helmkar. I don't give 2 shits about anything that was actually in the chest, except for a small box, about this big, and he shows like his hands about 15-16 inches apart and about 7-8 inches high. Inside of that box, there were, I believe, 40 crossbow bolts. Half of them were enchanted with Inscriptionist Guild insignia to provide minor enchantments, but was worth great value to me. Did you happen to recover that? If you if you did, I would be more than happy to add extra compensation to what we've already discussed. He kind of glances out to the lot of you.
Gray will kind of be like silent for a few seconds. He's kind of thinking. And then he goes, "Yeah, I think I have." And he's gonna, I guess, take out his, black hole.
Did Gray just do something good aligned? Oh my god! I am gonna make a paladin of you yet, you son of a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. You can't be a paladin.
Change my alignment.
Aurora's gonna make eye contact with Doc and mouth the word nice.
Doc will go.
Okay, so you pull out. So you pull the portable hole out. You lay it on the floor. You unfold it until it creates the hole. You drag the chest out. I'm assuming.
I think he'll just kind of open it and then grab the box.
Okay, fair
he
enough.
doesn't want anything else to leave though.
So you grab the box, and it is exactly the dimensions that he described. You put it on the table, pop it open, and he looks over. He grabs 3 or 4 crossbow bolts out, and you guys can all see clear as day that one of the crossbow bolts is completely mundane, just looks like a standard crossbow bolt to be fired from a light or heavy crossbow. But the other 3 are very clearly inscribed, I mean meticulously inscribed, from the base of the head of the crossbow bolt all the way down to where the fletching starts, with arcane runes spiraled around it. And his eyes go wide and he goes, "Holy shit. This is it. This is exactly what you found it."
What is it?
They're minorly enchanted crossbow bolts, but these were supposed to go to King Runheim himself in the Helmkar. These were for his personal guard. These were intended to be provided to them to fight back against creatures that may have some sort of protection against mundane magical things. We were the first to create this inscription. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little emotional because this is my handiwork and my brother's handiwork, and my mother and my father would be proud. And the fact that you found it means that I can complete what we came to do. So I want to thank you. And he starts to rummage through his own pouches, and he begins to pull pouches that are much larger than the pouches that are equipped on his person out and lay them on the table. And he starts to slap things on the table. And he pulls the small box off the table and he sets it to the side behind him. And he says, This is all very warranted, and I thank you, although we have had the great loss of life. You have truly come through and proven yourselves as you're my heroes. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I thank you for your sacrifice and for your attention to detail. We called for people to help us. Nobody came. Except you. Excuse me. He kind of takes a handkerchief out and he starts to wipe his eyes and he blows his nose, and he lays out on the table a very large, I mean, I'm talking like a flour sack worth of something that jingles like coin, as well as a small black velvet pouch. He then pulls out a scroll case, puts that on top of the table, and then he pulls something out that is absolutely crazy looking. And give me one moment.
Lucy's dancing to music. It's killing me.
This is good music. This music is just fucking slapping.
My jam.
All right, so he lays this thing on the table, and as he pulls it out, it comes out first, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? It's like this weird jagged edged blade, and as it hits the base of the blade and transfers into what is very clearly a haft, you realize that, oh shit, it's glowing blue and crackling with light blue sparks off the edge of it. And as he continues to pull it out, you're like, wow, that's a really cool spear. And the first thought in your mind is, oh shit, it's another shot. And then the other end comes out, and it's an identical copy. And here is what you see. He lays it on the table, and he says, I have provided for you many objects for the transference of your duties to us, the Inscriptionist Guild. And I present you something that is very special and very dear to my heart. I have never had to use it, thankfully, but I hope that you will also never have to use it, but pray that if you do, you know how to. This is a Javelin of Lightning. Are any of you familiar with the incantation and the inscription that goes into creating one of these items? Right, so whoever wields this javelin will feel its crackling might under their own fist. And in the heat of combat, when it is necessary most for you to summon its true strength, you can utter the incantation that is built into the inscription and throw the javelin, and it will transform magically into a bolt of lightning as if you had cast it from a thunderstorm, and it will blast in a line through your enemies, only to appear on the other side, unharmed, as a javelin of lightning once more.
That's fucking badass.
Damn it, Xavier, that's so fucking cool.
Doc will speak up once all of the stuff's out on the table and say, I appreciate that you understand where we were in that situation, but where I come from, family is everything. So I am sorry that we weren't able to get there sooner. I wish that we had. And just know that everything you presented to us here is not only appreciated, but will come in handy and be used to try to help others going forward.
You and your group, since you arrived here in Underhill, were obviously initially very curious to everybody here, but you very quickly made yourselves known as an impactable and sizable and important force, and we appreciate that. And while, yes, unfortunately, my brother has gone into the halls of Moradin himself, his legacy will live on in knowing that the first incantation of these magical bolts will be received by King Runheim himself and provided to his royal guard in protection of the realm of dwarves. And there is nothing sad about that. There is only joy.
I know the honor that comes with being in the halls of Moradin. I'm sure that someday, when it is your time, you're there, your brother will be ready for you with ale and open arms. But in the meantime, while we're all stuck here in this existence, hopefully you can make the most of it.
Well, I thank you, my sweet gnomish friend. I do not actually partake in any drink whatsoever. I follow Moradin, but it is a part of my internal fortitude that says I cannot do this. But maybe he will be there offering me a tea, or maybe a warm milk with cinnamon and a little drop of vanilla. And I will be very happy to see his smiling face once more. or maybe his angry face. He was, quite frankly, he was kind of a curmudgeon. he was kind of a piece of shit. He had your friend arrested, remember?
That was your brother.
It was my brother, yes. But yes. It is not. It's unfortunate he's gone, but I will see him in the afterlife, and I am confident in that. Now, that aside, thanks aside, everything else aside, take all of this, and he pushes the pile towards you. And just for the sake of brevity here, Doc, if you want, I've got the coins ready. Unless anybody's trying to do something funky with the coins.
You gonna fight me, Gray?
Not this time.
You wanna have a night fight?
All right. So there is 2,300 gold. And there's a smaller sack that when you open it up is filled to the brim with platinum pieces. There is 150 platinum pieces. There is a javelin of lightning. Whoever wants to take that, just say it now, so we have it on.
I think Doc called dibs on that one. She died. So.
He did die for it.
She did die for it.
Reach over, grab javelin, and slowly slide over with her eyes on Gray.
As soon as you touch it, you all see sparks kind of like blast from her hand, and then as the sparks come out, they rematerialize and come into her hand, and you see her arm kind of vibrate for a moment as she gets a literal grip on it, and she pulls it closer, and the hum dies down, but she feels the cackle of electricity still within the javelin. So
as you stare at Gray, Gray's gonna, I guess, put up his hands and go, I have bad history with objects and lightning.
Get a genuine smile on her back, and she'll slide it faster. With your blessing.
Aurora's gonna whisper, "You can let it down, right?"
Am I able to let go of it?
Yeah, you let it go, and it ping bounces off the table. There's a little like static electricity like zzz, that like zips up to your hand, but yeah, you can drop it no problem.
I wonder,
Aurora, and then like Mike drop it on the table.
I wonder if you could find another goat. You can just like you feed it to another goat, and then you get another Joseph.
Oh man.
God, I hope so.
Let's not feed the cool lightning spirit to a goat, please.
That's how it works, isn't it?
No, it's not. Jot was a special case.
Oh, shot.
You now have to ride Josa into battle while wielding this. You are obligated.
I
God, that'd be so fucking badass.
On a side note, Gray's gonna open the scroll that's on the table.
So it's a scroll tube, and when you open it, on the inside you pull out 2 scrolls. Give me just one sec. So one is a scroll of Thunderwave, and the second is a scroll of Healing Word. There's also a small bag on the table, and Doc, when you open that small black velvet bag, there are 5 diamonds inside, each of which are worth 50 gold pieces. So, 2,300 gold, 150 plat, 5 diamonds worth 50 gold, a javelin of lightning, a scroll of Thunderwave, a scroll of Healing Word, and finally, as if that wasn't enough, I mean, to be fair, you guys got, well, to be fair though, you guys got your shit kicked in pretty hard. I mean, like, really hard. So with that, he also, he pulls out another scroll, and he lays it on the table as you guys are all collecting the loot. And Lucy, we are stating Lucy is taking these scrolls, so Lucy, you can add those. So he lays it out on the table, and as you guys look at it, this is something that's very, very strange to you. As he unravels it...
Before that, am
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
allowed to ask which level these scrolls are?
They are always at base level. Scrolls cannot be created at higher tiers.
Oh, because when I look up scroll, I get spell scrolls 2nd level, 1st level.
Yep. Nope. They in this universe they are only ever created at their base level.
Okay, so I'm assuming first level.
Well, no, what you're seeing, so you are seeing so what you're looking at is the terminology for the level of the spell. So Healing Word and Thunderwave are both level 1. So it's not like you have a scroll of Thunderwave level 9 that's gonna, create a blast that Thor's gonna hear. They're level 1 spell scrolls. But the sub variant of that, or the piece that you can add to that, is that they are a scroll of Thunderwave and a scroll of Healing Word. All right.
Okay, thank you.
So he puts this scroll on the table, and as he begins to unfurl it, he actually takes these large metal spikes and he sticks one in each corner of it. And as he unrolls it, it looks like a map of Trubenshard. However, it's very unlike any map of the continent you've ever seen. It is only a two-tone map, meaning there are only 2 colors on it. It is densely coated in a soft wax, and the wax is what actually creates the color. It only shows you the land and the water. And there you go. Now you're probably going to want to hit the little magnifying glass to make it bigger, because I have something else to explain to you. As you unravel it, or as he unravels it, there are 3 tiny pinpricks of light that are visible as glowing entities. Like when you move your hand over it, you can see the light shedding up and onto your hand, okay? As he unravels that, he says the following. He says, "So I know I had spoken with your friend, Mr. Gray, about the extra thing I was able to craft for you, because if I am not mistaken, you are currently on the search for something that has to do with the depths of the Shadowfell. Is that correct?"
Fortunately.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately for you, when I heard of your group being in town, I immediately began to perform investigation of my own. I managed to trade a single silver coin from the barkeep, and he points over to his right to where the barkeep is, that was traded to him from you, and he points straight at Doc. Unbeknownst to you, that little silver coin was a piece of treasure you found from the initial wreckage of the ship that crashed here on Trubenshard. I took that silver coin and I broke it down into its very raw essence. And with that essence, I was able to formulate, through a little bit of alchemical trickery, a substance which would draw out the essence of its procurement, which happened to be the Shadowfell. I then traced a map of the entirety of Trubenshard, as I was aware of the fact that you were looking for something that had crashed from deep space, from dark space, into our plane of existence, and then scattered, throughout the continent. These pinpricks of light represent the exact location of the most extreme concentrations of Shadowfell energy that I could detect within the alchemical confines of my experiment, quite frankly, and of my inscription. So the last piece of treasure, of thanks, of gratitude that I bring to you and your friends is this map, and you are more than welcome to it. By my estimation, with the enchantment I have laid upon the map and the preservation I have put into the ink, I believe this map should last for probably somewhere in the realm of 650 to maybe 1650 years. So as long as you don't take too long, you'll be able to find your points of interest.
Oh, we'll be dead long before that happens. Yeah.
You will definitely be dead long before that. You, points at Aurora, definitely dead before that. You, at Doc, shit, yes, you'll be dead too. Oh, fuck. I don't know a whole lot about Aasimar, but I assume once you go down the path of the Dark One, you slip into insanity, maybe what, within a millennia? So yes, you're probably out as well. As for myself, I'm already halfway there, so yes, we'll all be dead far before that. But either way, you'll be able to open this map whenever you want. Take a look. I can show you if you have other map, you lay it straight on top, and it will show you the exact location of where I'm picking up sensory Shadowfell energy. So I hope this is something useful to you, because I understand, although I don't know the nature of your quest, I understand it is very important.
Thank you. Yes, Carl was looking out for us for sure when we decided we need to go on this mission. Despite all the sidetracks and the potential devastation, this is incredible. So, thank you.
You're welcome. And on a very serious note, and he turns to Gray, thank you for being forthright about the procurement of these crossbow bolts. It may seem mundane to the untrained eye, but I truly appreciate your returning them to me so that I can fulfill mine and my brother's legacy as far as our little podunk inscriptionist guild is concerned.
There were only like 3 of them, right, Xavier? At the moment? Those crossbow bolts?
No, there were 10. It was half.
Okay.
Yep, it was half of what you found. Nope, there was 20 of them.
Oh, okay, and Gray will anyway go. No problem. None of us use a crossbow anyway, so I don't think it would have helped either.
He glances down at Doc's hand crossbow. Oh.
Gray ignores it.
Okay.
Doesn't know.
I don't use it often.
Last time you actually used it.
While they're talking about that, Aurora's, of course, grabbing her map of Proven Shard and comparing and preparing to make notes because she's very interested in this map. She just completely tunes out the others, and they're squabbling.
Is that one on the right? Is that the Druid's Grove?
So make a let's see. Why don't you make a survival check for me? Yeah. I mean, because you guys have been there the most recent, absolutely 100%, absolutely where the Druid. I mean, it is like right on top of the Druid's Grove.
Does this mean that if it's still glowing, that it's still there?
Well, are there pieces of something that landed there from the Shadowfell? Because if so, then probably yes.
Oh yeah, there definitely was. I think, at least, I don't know. Right? That's what those things were? Pieces of the Shadowfell? Beasties?
Well, it was from. I mean, it went through there at the very least. It wasn't from there, so.
Yeah, you guys definitely confirmed that vessel landed at least in the Shadowfell and then took off again and fucking bolted before Noxelfin did his thing.
Yeah, so it had remnants at the very least of the Shadowfell. So that makes sense. Thank you.
Quick correction. So I have it in stated. I just said Noxelfin. It is not Noxelfin. It is Nilthraxian. Noxelfin is the ancient green dragon from my first fucking campaign, and I apologize about that.
I didn't even catch that.
I heard myself saying it, and I was just like, "You stupid fuck! How dare you get your dragons mixed up?"
I'm not gonna lie. I started singing the song I wrote in my head when you said it. It didn't even track. Yeah, so there's definitely remnants of the Shadowfell. So this will be incredibly helpful to get us through. Thank you.
You're very welcome. He says, as far as the other 2 points of interest on here, I'm not entirely sure, as and I hate to admit this, but I've never traveled outside of Underhill in my entire life. I'm 162. But you may be able to find somebody else who has a better idea. Or I suppose if you just compare it with a map, you'll at least have a good idea where you need to go. On that note, I need to make arrangements, I believe, with my family, and prepare for my brother to be sent to his final piece. Formally. So if you'll excuse me. And he stands up from the table, and he bows his head. He says, I'm not entirely sure what to call you, but thank you. You're definitely the most unlikely group of people I ever expected to see here in Underhill. And here you are. And he points at the door, and there I go. Thank you.
Thank you, Piotr.
So when he leaves, Aurora's staring at the map, and she's gonna do a little. I'd like to mark her actual map of troop in charge with the pinpricks, and she's gonna kind of mutter and say, "So one of them is to the west of Grell in the mountains, near the center to edge of that. She'll show where it is. The other is northwest of the Tower of the Magi in the forest there. And then the other is in the well, obviously we know about that one. Is this something that we want to actually pursue? Do we want to go?
Well, I mean, we don't want those nasty motherfuckers loose on the world, that's for sure.
That being said, I believe Ree has appointments here in this town, actually.
Yeah, I do. Actually, yeah, the fight pit.
I was actually thinking about something too.
I'm looking forward. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you were busy talking.
Show motion to the tattoo on her arm and say, I almost feel like I should also get the original one that I was leaning toward, which was the contingency one. Because in situations like what we faced yesterday, I'd much less likely to need assistance with not dying.
What do you mean?
Not officially dying. There was one option where, if I were to, it's a contingency, so she'll say contingency of goblin, so that way you understand what she's trying to say.
Contingency, right? I got you, dear. Thank you.
So
If this, then that.
right. Yeah. So basically, if I were to die, we could set it up so that I would be brought back. So if I was set to dying, maybe a spell could automatically go off that would heal me, or if I actually got to the point of being dead, perhaps a revivify. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I'd have to talk to the businessman, but it may not be a bad idea if I'm going to be sneaking, but I'm also doing healing for me to be much less dead in situations where we're going to be fighting a lot of angry things.
Yeah, I mean, if our runesmithy isn't, coked out of his mind or unconscious right now, then yeah, I still
Last time I
guess.
saw him, he wasn't.
He might be coked out of his
I
mind.
definitely told him he should be resting. However, in my experiences with people who find themselves drawn to things like those potions that he was drinking like water, he would be back to where it was.
You gotta get me some of that stuff.
Question for Kat. How preoccupied are you with the map right now?
Aurora is definitely focused on comparing and making sure that she's getting the exact spot.
Perfect. Then
Also,
Gray's
I hate you
absolutely
already
gonna
for this.
Gray's gonna absolutely move the giant thing he still has popped up on my major illusion right behind Aurora and have her roar just when she loses. Or at least try.
Okay.
Some poor dork's gonna get an arrow in the face.
Yeah.
That poor Gray. He deserves it. He deserves every freaking second of it.
Make a performance check, and Aurora make a perception check.
Oh.
I have a chance. Not a good one, but I have a chance.
Not a good chance. That's a fucking 22.
Yeah, I would need a 17. Slow motion fucking rolls.
Oh, you did not fucking roll. Holy shit. So Gray, you very meticulously and carefully you grab hold of your illusion, and as you dissipate it into the table, it kind of and it rises up behind Aurora, and Aurora is just enthralled in the map. And Aurora, you catch it. You catch it out of the corner of your eye. You glance up, and all of these arcane syllables that you've heard Gray teaching you and showing you in the past day and a half, you kind of grab onto, you're like, wait, what the fuck? Why is he casting? And you glance up out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, oh, he's about to fucking do something. And you're like, what is he going to do to Doc? What is he going to do to Ree? And then you feel this breath kind of materialize behind you, and as you glance upwards ever so slowly, you see the very thing that terrifies you the most, at least in the now, which was that nasty, devilish-looking knoll, rise up behind you. But you know goddamn well who and what it was.
In that case, without even looking up, like, she moves her eyes slightly, realizes, and then she turns her attention back to the bat, but throws out one hand, mutters a couple of words, and just tends to, like, it's just prestidigitation, just sparks, just in its face, just kind of startle him back.
So there's this arcane incantation, and as she turns her hand backwards, her fist opens, and there's this burst of sparkles, and it hits this creature in the face, and as it reacts to it, almost as if it's real, it kind of slaps itself, and then its own fist goes through its face as the illusion kind of stammers for just a second. It just glitches out, and then pops back in. And there you are. She seems very unfazed by your trickery.
In that case, the wolf is, the gnoll's just gonna put like a clawed finger with just the middle finger up and then disappear.
And as you glance back, Aurora, to see what your sparkles did, you see this Yanagu kind of look down at you, and a big clawed middle finger come up at you before it vanishes in shadowy smoke.
You hear Doc go, aw, it likes you.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot that was your secret language. My bad.
Can't believe I fucking managed to make that check.
I don't know how that happened. I mean, honestly, I just want to call you a cheater, but I know it's just the dice. Every time somebody succeeds at something over somebody, you're just a cheat.
I knew I should have used my inspiration for it.
Honestly, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But she rolled pretty fucking well.
That would have been very fun.
Okay, so
Although, if she had been scared it was going to be a chaos bolt.
that
So-
would have turned this whole situation into something much more.
It's different.
Are we gonna stay here? I know Ree, you got your fight coming up. Probably we should rest
On
and all
Thursday,
that.
it's on Thursday, I think.
Right,
Right?
but
Thursday was 2 days ago.
It's the upcoming Thursday, or is it the Thursday we missed?
Do we
I
already
think-
miss it?
I think it was just registration this Thursday, is what you
Oh,
said,
right. Registration was on Thursday, but the
When's
fight
the
is.
actual fight?
Fuck, I don't remember. Where's the barkeep? Barkeep!
You kind of throw your hand up, barkeep, and the dwarven man. He walks over from behind the bar and he says,
Hey, buddy.
He said, "Oh, welcome back, my friends. Pleasure to see you, first of all, especially since you're all in one piece, at least for most of you. No, you're all in one piece. Yes, that's wonderful. Are you, first of all, welcome back. The tavern hasn't been the same without you. Mr. Gray, have you considered my invitation to maybe regale the people of Underhill of your stories, your exploits, your conquests? Do you have something new? Maybe you could tell the tale of your most recent adventure. We'd love to hear it. Sorry, you called me. I'm not the one asking the questions. I apologize.
We got a lot to tell, I think, right? I mean, that was some shit.
Maybe I have some things I want to do while in town as well. But I believe Ree has a question
Yeah.
about the fighting pit.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, very
Yeah,
well.
Sorry,
Yes.
I get distracted easy. Yeah. Okay, so registration that happened, right? That was,
Oh, yes, little Miss Jewelry.
yeah.
One moment. He pulls out a small piece of parchment that's just folded in half. He unfolds it, he lays it down and sets it in front of you. Yes, so if you look here, give me one moment. I need to take a look at my own calendar here so I know what I'm talking about. Yes, so your first iteration of fight will be tonight. There will be...
Tonight?
Oh, yes!
Nice.
Yes, wonderful. It'll be glorious. I'm so excited to see it. Monday night is the fight against you know who.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, which is the 1st of Jutet, I believe. Let me just check my calendar. Yes, the 1st of Jutet is the 3rd iteration. Now, you will... Oh, I'm sorry. I am absolutely wrong about that. It is the following Wednesday, the 8th of Jutet. So, that will conclude the 2 weeks of the championship. The Brawlers Championship. So you will have one tonight, one Monday the 30th, and one on the 8th of Jutet. Those will be your iterations. Yes, I'm sorry, was that...
Do we know who I'm fighting? Like, for the other nights? I know who I'm fighting.
I don't... I don't know who 1 and 3 are, but I definitely know who 2 is.
Yeah. Okay, then do you know any... Does he have, like, any, like, kind of, like, weaknesses? Does he have, like, a bum leg? Does he have, like, a... I know he's got, like, a fucking asshole for a chin, but, I mean, like, that's not really gonna... make him squishier, right?
Well, no, not necessarily. I do wholeheartedly believe that if he were to cough too hard or sneeze too hard, he would absolutely shit from his chin. But hopefully that does not happen as you are the opponent, and that may spray in your face, and obviously you're just you are too beautiful for shit face. Look at you. No, you stop it. You are a gorgeous creature.
No, shut up.
You stop yourself. Yes, thank you, little Miss Doc. Doc, I'm learning all of your names. Yes, but on serious note, yes, your first iteration is tonight. I don't know anything about who this combatant is, and the final one on Wednesday the 8th, no idea. But on Monday, as far as weaknesses and exploits... Unfortunately, I haven't really talked to my bully in many, many years, so there's not much I know, but the good thing is...
Do you know where he hangs out at all? Or?
I do know where he hangs out, actually.
Okay.
So... Do you know where Ronald's rune smithy is? Okay. So...
Where I got my dope-ass hammer from.
Oh, beautiful. Ronald does wonderful work. If you go to the northwest of Ronald's rune smithy, you will encounter the mill. The mill is where we, well, quite frankly, we mill our wheat and our rye, and other herbs, depending on what needs to be milled at the time. But that is where you can find him, and I only say this because he does 3 things very well. He drinks like an asshole, he fights like a bastard, and he mills like a son of a bitch. He is a miller's apprentice. So you could find him there on the regular. I don't know where he drinks. My assumption is probably at home. But when he fights in the arena, that's where he, goes about his business the other direction. So, yes, I suppose if you want to find him at the mill, you could probably find him at the mill. At least observe him from the distance.
Okay, yeah, that works. I'm actually surprised. No, I guess I'm not surprised he doesn't drink here. This is like the only bar in town, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem is he knows I own it, and he bullied the shit out of me for decades. So
You don't
he...
exactly give him a good deal.
No, he definitely gets charged premium prices for swill. Premium prices for swill when you work at the mill. Fuck yourself. Overy, and he clasps you on the shoulder and kind of like grinds his knuckles down into your shoulder. It feels good. Like he really releases a little bit of tension. He says, You are a magnificent creature, and I don't want anybody to ever get you down. If anybody ever gets you down in this town, you come see me, Ree, and they will pay twice as much when they eat or drink at this establishment. Am I understood?
Okay. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Remember that. Keep that in mind. Thank you.
He kind of stands up and he dusts himself off a little bit, pulls his tunic out. So, sorry, have I answered your question? Anything else you need from me?
Yeah, no, I was wondering when the things went down if I was good to go. So it sounds like all those things are factored in. We're ready to roll, man.
Wonderful.
Ready to fuck up some chin assholes.
Chin assholes, yes. Are you going to be needing lodging again, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think so.
Yes, we do.
I might
Wonderful.
probably sleep in the pig pen, but yeah, let's do that.
Ree, you are so much better than the pig pen, my dear. You are not going to sleep there. What I can offer...
Cuddly, but...
I mean, if you want, I can bring a few pigs in for you to sleep with. But you should really have a nice bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. Do you want the suite that you had the last time you were here? Nobody's purchased it since you've been here.
Do we want to go with that again, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we probably left our stain on it pretty well.
So,
looking at me, I'm fine with it.
all right, fair enough. So you all enjoyed it. My assumption is because you're going to be here for 2 weeks, as far as Ree and the competition is concerned. Are you all staying here for 2 weeks and in that room?
I think after yesterday's events, we probably want to stick to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Aurora stays quiet, but does not protest.
Very well. Typically, I would charge a group of 4 staying for 2 weeks in that suite 112 pieces of gold. But because you've been so wonderful as far as I am concerned in the greater respect of Underhill, and with what Ree has done for me, I'm going to drop 12 gold off of it and call it an even 100. Are you all right with that?
Of course, thank you.
Those are numbers.
That will also include...
Sorry. He almost managed to keep going. I'm so sorry.
God damn it, I was so close.
Oh, that old character.
You got me.
That will also include breakfast. That will include breakfast and lunch, but your dinners will have to be paid for extra. Excuse me. It will have to be paid for extra as we are going into the harsher season, which is the end of reserves and the beginning of harvest season, which means that prices increase just a little bit. So for dinners, would you like to pay for your dinners now?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we might as well.
Right, so that will be 112 pieces of copper. if you can afford it. He kind of has this shit-eating grin on his face when he says that. I know you can afford it. I just watched what happened here. Yes, 112 pieces of copper. You can pay that now, and we will just call for the next 2 weeks. You are good to go. So,
We'll count it out, and she'll just look at Gray and say, we'll figure it out later.
Might feel a little odd, but while we were out, when we were out on our hunt, we ended up with a little bit of another sort of hunt happening, and we have more venison than we're going to be able to easily go through before it goes bad. Could you make use of it?
make a persuasion check.
God, I hate the slow motion rolls. It's awful.
It makes you cringe every second that it bounces. Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He blinks and he looks down and he goes, holy shit. How much venison do you have right now? Do you still have like 30 pounds, don't you?
I have 14 pounds of cooked and 3 pounds of salted. But the salted, I don't know how long that would last for.
So salted venison, since you did appropriately salt it, and each pound counts as 1 day's worth of rations, it will last like 6 months. But if you want to offer it up, I can do extra kickbacks. What do you want to do?
So she's going to offer the 14 pounds of the cooked then. She'll hold on to the 3 pounds because, yeah.
Okay. So he looks up. Give me 1 sec. Let me roll some dice here.
Yeah.
That was so that was 112 copper, correct? So he looks down at it, and his eyes go wide, and he picks up some of the venison that you guys had harvested from that stag, and he gives it a couple good whiffs. He kind of like digs a knife into one haunch and kind of lifts it up, and he goes in nose first and just takes a deep inhalation, and he blinks and he looks at you and he goes, I owe you 40 copper. And he begins to count out 112 copper plus an additional 40. He pays you 100% of your cost back, plus you make 40 copper. So go ahead and add an additional 152 copper to your inventory. And he calls to one of his assistants, who immediately runs over and gathers the meat up. And he says, you need to make this into stew and salt the other 4 or 5 pounds, whatever's there. Excuse me.
I'm going to remove the 14 then from my bag.
Thank you. And good
That
use
went
of
better
that.
than I
Very
expected.
intelligent to... you can't let meat go bad. Not in a medieval fantasy world. So he, as that's all happening, he says, he counts out the rest of the copper, he slides it over to you, Doc, and he kind of looks around and he says, so, anything else I can do for you? Oh, he says, oh, shit, before I forget, sorry. Pulls a key out, 1 key for every person in your party. You have all obtained a small silver key that opens the door to the suite in the building.
Nice.
And the suite, by the way, is the one in the upper right-hand corner.
Negligible weight.
Yes. All right. Who, by the way, is holding the inscriptionist map of Trubenshard?
It's Aurora right now.
Okay, Aurora, go ahead and add that to your inventory. Just a custom item. It weighs 0.25 pounds.
She's going to put it in by her other map.
Understood. The Scroll of Thunderwave and Scroll of Healing Word. Lucy, you were taking those? Okay.
Yep, I already added them.
Beautiful. And Doc, you have taken the 5 diamonds, the 2,300 gold, the 150 plat, and the Javelin of Lightning. Yay, I can delete things. Okay. So he finishes this conversation, pays you out, and he turns, he bows, and he says, "Have a fantastic stay at the House of the Dwarf Lord Inn," and he walks away.
I go.
I want to scan the room for the dwarven messenger boy.
Okay, so you scan the room. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, since you know what he looks like now. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, 21's pretty good. You scan the room, and you see over... Hang on. Up over here in the upper right-hand corner, you see a very familiar visage sitting next to what appears to be a noble, who is just minding his own business and drinking some tea and eating a couple of biscuits. And the visage of the boy is just sitting there and kind of like kicking his feet, and like it looks like he's maybe coloring with a quill and a piece of parchment.
Oh, so he's not looking up. Okay. Doc will, I see we're sitting next to each other. Doc will kind of gently nudge Bree, like elbow her, and then nod in that direction.
What? Can I actually see all the way over there? Can I actually make out the person?
Yeah, go give me a perception check. With advantage because Doc pointed it out. So if you really fuck up, oh, this is not good. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good. I was like, where are we going with this?
Possibly.
So you glance up and over to the far northwestern quadrant of the room, and yeah, sure as shit, you see exactly who she's pointing out. She says, "Yeah, hey, that over there," and it clicks. You're like, "Oh shit, the dwarven kid."
I'll say, I don't know if that's him or if it's
As you're saying that, like Ree's like going to stand up.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
What?
He's next to somebody.
Yeah?
Even if it's him, I'm not going to
Why?
because that's somebody we can't. Part of what he and I are is there has to be some mystery.
That's weird, but okay. Alright, fine.
You knew I was weird since the moment we met.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's true. That is accurate.
Alright, yeah, Rhea will sit back down and just like keep an eye on him. Like she's barely even being like
Look at me.
like not even being subtle about it, just like staring the whole time.
Yeah, it would be honestly that would be kind of looking over too. If there's any chance of her catching, like making eye contact, she will. She's just trying to determine if it's the boy, like actually the boy, or if it's not the boy.
Okay, make a go ahead and make an insight check for me. It's the boy. It is absolutely 100% the boy. It is 100% the boy. Period. End of story.
Wait, it's not him?
It's not our him.
So fucking confusing.
If I actually see him,
Wait, so he can look like fucking anybody? Is that what you're saying?
I know he can look like that.
I thought that kid like was him, and like he was
No,
just like.
whoa, hold on. Candace, you did not understand me. It's the boy. It is the dwarven boy.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
100%. It is absolutely yes, the dwarven boy.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so I guess I take that back then. We need to talk to him by himself, but I'm honestly surprised to see him. We can't give him
Okay, all right. I'll trust you on this one. I'll take your lead. This is your world. I'm just kind of observe.
Was I able to catch his eyes? His black eyes with him at all?
Make a... This is going to be a really weird one, but make a persuasion check. Persuade him to see you.
Oh.
Everyone's a bard today.
God damn, I can't deny a 20. Yeah, like, as you're looking over, you're kind of like watching him out of the corner of your eye, but talking to Ree this whole time. And at one point, you catch him kind of glance over out of the corner of his own eye, and you lock fucking eyes with him. And as you look up, he looks up, and he gives you this kind of like... And he continues the color with the quill. And then he goes...
Doc will give him a nod and a smirk. And she'll actually mouth thank you. And then kind of go back to something.
And as he goes back to coloring, he just kind of... You're welcome! And you hear it just... I mean, it's like a toddler screaming in a quiet restaurant. You can hear it for fucking days. And you're wondering whose food got polluted. Thank you! You're welcome!
Yeah. I don't get it.
Damn, I'd hate to be whatever that kid's eating.
Thankfully, he's the one eating it.
I also hate to be him, seeing as you and both Ree were staring at him really intently.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kinda creepy.
I have no idea what you're talking. I'm not staring at anybody.
I want to know what he's coloring.
It looks like a lot of fun.
If you wanted,
Doc, hold up. Doc, make a fucking deception check. You ain't getting away with that bullshit.
Oh no.
Look, Lucy spent his one fucking feet on alert. He's gonna get the check. Lucy, make a fucking... That was a deception. Make an insight check. No, you're gonna... Even if he rolls a 1, it's still a fucking 30. Nah, yeah, no, this bitch is lying to you straight out.
Like, Ree's not even trying to like not look away.
Ree is like, we don't do this here.
Great. We'll kind of lean over and go,
you know, you have two people who can telepathically talk to them, right? Yeah, literally no one else will hear it besides us and them. Kind of the whole point of the spell.
She'll look over it. She'll look over at Ree.
What? Oh. Yeah? What?
Also, Ree, you're being very obvious.
You're being very obvious.
keep doing it.
Okay.
That's a really good point. But I don't know what to say right now.
Maybe say like, hey, let's meet up. Let's have a conversation like in the back with the pigs.
Yeah, can you tell that kid to meet with me?
Sounds like you're inviting him to a murder.
He knows. He knows it's either going to be that or a conversation. That's the only way to go.
Who invites somebody to a murder with pig? Oh,
Didn't
Yeah,
talk to the
that makes
extent.
sense.
Yeah.
pigs eat people.
Alright, so Aurora, do you want to be the one to cast a spell or shit?
I'll try.
Alright, good luck.
Gray's gonna be watching very intently.
Okay, so what are
Free.
you casting?
So Aurora's casting her version of the spell, which is just message.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Actually, no, that's not bad. Okay, this is the cantrip
Which
message,
should-
correct?
Yep, and it
Okay.
should actually work.
Yeah,
Except
so...
for pointing at him, which is less ideal.
Yeah, I mean, it's less than ideal, but I mean, this guy's watching at least Doc, if nobody else. So there's a 120-foot range, which is easy. You mutter your incantation. You hold your heart dear to you, which is the material component, and you flash a few symbols, And as you do so, you begin to whisper your message. So as you audibly whisper your message, what do you whisper?
Well, it says actually that only the target can hear it, which is cool. And it
Yep.
doesn't look like there's a word limit on this.
Nope.
How is this a worse version?
Well, because you have to be line of sight, right?
It is
Yeah.
line of sight. Well, so if you are not line of sight, actually, yes. If you are not within line of sight, then if it is beyond a barrier, you have to be familiar with the target. And if you cast sending, you just have to know their name. And it can go, and sending can also go across planes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, the range is 120 feet. So across planes, 120 feet.
Yeah. She's going to cast it and whisper and say, she's going to say, I know you know they're watching you. I'm sure you know why. They would like to meet with you later to discuss.
Okay. So so as you whisper this, you whisper it out loud. The spell goes off. You feel it go off. You feel the magic and the arcane syllables travel through the air into the entity. You see the entity stop coloring and kicking his feet, and he kind of looks up, and he looks around, and as he looks over to the person next to him, Lucy, Gray is the only one who is capable of reading lips, and you see him say, and I quote, in common, Papa? Did you hear that? Stupid halflings.
Gray's gonna chuckle a little bit and go, yeah, stupid halflings.
In common?
No, not in common. Yeah,
In-
he's just gonna say,
in
whisper
what?
that to himself.
Okay.
Probably just whispering it to himself.
Everybody else make a perception check.
I'm not gonna say it in Celestial. Gray doesn't
Okay.
like Celestial.
That's fine. No, I'll tell you what. You make a stealth check.
I am okay with it.
I am also okay with this because I know what your stealth is. Ooh, no! The dice have spoken! Okay, so before we end
Someone else
tonight...
barked today.
Okay, so...
Aurora's got your fucking number today. dude.
Jesus Christ! This bitch is about ready to shoot you in the head. Oh, wait.
Again.
So...
Third time's the charm.
That's what I was thinking. So Doc and Ree, you were fucking oblivious to anything that just went down. However, Doc, Lucy's gone. He's like, I'm done. So Doc and Aurora, you were both well aware of what just went down here.
Doc is gonna go. Excuse me.
Your excuse. Can I help you?
I don't think so.
Aurora, on
You're
the
ex-
other hand, was
You fucking
listening
excused
very
her.
intently, trying to get any feedback from the spell, and was not expecting that from Gray. And she's just going to turn her head and just look at him and just kind of have a divisible, like, okay. She's not going to say anything, just look at him for a second.
Can I do an insight check on her?
To incite what?
I want to see if she's actually upset by him, like if she's offended.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check. Is Aurora attempting to conceal this irritation?
She went a little guarded, but it's not intentionally concealed.
Okay.
It's more of a lot of the goodwill that she had been fostering just very quickly just okay, so that's where we stand kind of thing.
Okay, understood.
So
So,
it's that kind of.
yeah, so Candace, just make a straight roll.
I sense murderous.
Oh, you see it clear as day. I mean, she nudged you affectionately, slightly affectionately. And with that connection between the two of you now, you just saw straight through. You were just like, oh, something's going down right now. Also, Aurora, just for clarity's sake, when you cast the spell and you feel the static kind of pick up in your message and the cantrip ends, there is no capability for reverberation or retort. It stops there. Just so we're clear.
So what happened? Did he?
Wait,
Did he
hang on.
respond?
Like it did that unusually? Because the message they can respond to.
So, yes. In this iteration, and yes, you know that a reply can be had. But once the message was received, which you felt through the iteration of this spell, there was a wall that went up. And then the kicking and yada yada. And then the did you hear that?
Okay. So she turns.
Which means it was intentional. Sorry, just to clarify that.
She turns. She hears Gray. She turns, gives that look, has that kind of expression shift, doesn't say anything to Gray, turns back to Doc and Ree as Ree asks, did he say something? And then in a carefully flat tone says, no response. We blocked it.
And there is 100% confidence in that.
Doc's just staring at Gray.
Ree's just staring at the little boy.
Y'all want me to hit him with my mace or my maul or what?
Grace gonna smile and definitely go, oh, there was a response. And then kind of as if he was the kid, starts kicking his legs.
Gray does?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's like one of those like he'll come to us when he's good and ready. Is that what's happening here? Being sneaky about things.
Maybe someone can intercept messages. I don't know how the magic works.
Okay. Well, wait for him to come to us then, right where we want him. No, we're not gonna kill him. What? No, what? Wow. What?
Really sounds like it.
Why are you so
We're
dark?
on the same page.
Why are you so
What?
dark?
No? Yeah. Yes.
No.
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 Yeah.
No.
Or no? Robert?
At least, well, not yet. Not now?
Okay. Another fucking note on my toe though.
Did. It's true. But, he also hid me under diamonds.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. We're cool. We're cool, but I just want to know what's up. That's all I want.
Me too.
All right, so we will go ahead because it is 10:07, and I know that I believe Lucy is starting classes this week, which obviously we do not want to fuck up your uni experience. So we will end here tonight, and we will pick up next week with us at the table. At the tail end of the, actually it's still pretty early in the morning technically, but we'll start off here next week and just kind of see where you guys go from here as far as the conversation with yourselves and the dwarven boy are concerned. Any questions before we log?
We're good.
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll call it. Also, I was just thinking, man, fuck, next week is Saturday D&D. We got Saturday D&D next week, and we've got Sunday D&D, which is awesome. So it's gonna be a whole lot of shit going on next week. And for everybody who, oh yeah, weekend D&D. Sorry, I got people in chat here. Yeah, we do Saturday D&D, which is an 8-hour D&D session, which actually 2 of our players here will be involved in. That is Aurora or Kat and Candace. So, all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and raid. We're gonna raid Rock Joe, and yeah, we'll see you next week on Sunday.
Lucy says it's not streamed, sadly.
It is not streamed. I have considered streaming it, and you know, I know there's been a lot of I've actually had a lot of people asking me to stream it, and I'm still trying to figure out a way to do it. So if I can figure out how to do it, I promise you I will do it. But yeah, it's 8 hours. It's a lot of stream. But if not, which probably not by next week, we will at least be live on Sunday to do a hell of a lot of awesome shit. Hopefully. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great week at work. Lucy, have a great new semester at new first week semester at school. And, yeah, take care of yourselves.
Good night, everybody.
Also, Kat, get better, because I can see you're sick. Stop being fucking sick.
Yeah, it's
No, you stop it, damn it. You stop it.
twice in 6 weeks. It's obnoxious. Yeah, but you know what? Could be worse. Could be COVID, and it's not. So.
It could be, and it's not, and that's great. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah. Also, Lucy, you were doing so well. We were bonding.